Ladies and gentlemen, I am Hollywood Rob TV, and I have the pleasure of bringing you yet another episode of No Neutral. And of course, I'm with my guy, whose room is looking a lot more decorated over there nowadays, Brian F. What's up with you, bro?
I'm doing all right, Rob. I had to step it up here. That those no neutral treks are coming in, so I decided to add a shelf to spice things up. So, we got to show off the fighting game apparel a little bit here, but I'm also excited because we just had the conclusion of the Spain, Portugal, and France CPT, and it was a sweet CPT to see and an amazing storyline as well. So I'm very happy about this past weekend CPT action.
Brian, facts, that was an amazing event. I mean, it should be illegal to have that much fun, just like it should be illegal to have this type of guns on camera. I mean, Brian, do you see your boy right now? I've really been in that gym. But I tell you what, some people who have been in the gym shooting with us this entire time has been none other than Team No Motion. And of course, Sasa-san holding it down for us over there on the Capcom Fighters Japan channel. Much love to you guys for always bringing No Neutral over to the Japanese audience. And the player that we have to show the most love today, the man of the hour, Brian F., is none other than Mr. Crimson. Going into the tournament, we had to hype him up. And of course, the pressure was on his shoulders because he was the favorite going in. He just goes and has an amazing breakthrough performance at Red Bull Kumite where people weren't expecting it. But now, all eyes on him. Can he really do it with everything on the line when we know that he's that nice? Brian, he was able to get it done.
I mean, there's nothing I love more than to see someone have a breakout performance and to see someone continue that success to kind of, just reinvigorate, add some more oomph to that win to say, yes, I'm here to stay. And yeah, you're right. I guess he was the favorite going into it. In this tournament, we also had really strong contenders like Luffy. And Luffy, with Capcom Cup, he has to be a favorite because he's been in every single Capcom Cup that there has ever been. So he's going to find a way in there one way or the other. Either he wins the next qualifier for his region or by some kind of stroke of luck, he makes it in there because, Luffy's going to find a way into Capcom Cup one way or the other, I'm sure. But yeah, I guess Mr. Crimson would be the favorite. He came off the hot performance, but like we mentioned last time, Luffy and Mr. Crimson had one of the closest sets of Red Bull Kumite. That could have easily had been a different story had Luffy closed out that set versus him, that longer first 5 format. So, he was the favorite, but it's not without his own trials and tribulations like we saw in this top 8, because this was not a free event for Mr. Crimson to win whatsoever. So before we get into his run, I just want to give a shout out, of course, to the top 8 competitors. Congrats on your placing. Link Exelo in 7th place, Lucky PC tying up for 7th as well. Junior Leo, one of the most exciting Ken players. Haven't seen him in action in a while. It was really cool to see him back in action rocking Ken. Kainu, who had also a very big part to play in this top 8, getting 5th. I'm shocked he got 5th considering the amount of work he put in. He was the guy who put Mr. Crimson in losers and had an extremely close set with Luffy on winner's side to begin with. So shout out to Akainu in 5th. Kills You, I think your boy Kills You. You mentioned him.
Yes, the carrot brethren right there. I told you he was gonna cook up, Brian. Yeah, super proud of him. Young dude too, really
young man. Yeah, I was reading up about him a little bit after seeing his really strong performance, coming in at a very solid 4th place. So congrats to him. And Vega Patch, repping Spain. I think he was the only non-French person in this top 8, if I am correct. It was all France, and then there was Vega Patch repping Spain. The Spanish Vega Extraordinaire, Fong Extraordinaire, the name throws me off there, repping that poison, going very far in the bracket. And then, of course, Luffy in 2nd and Mr. Crimson in 1st. So that run for Mr. Crimson, man, I mean, he got that 1st, but it was a struggle to get there.
Bruh, as you said, bro, his story to me starts off with that top 16. Going up against Akainu. That match that they had was it was actually OD. 1st to 2, and something I like about Mr. Crimson is when you look at his pre-match comments, I'm always looking at those to see where someone's headspace is. Right. And generally speaking, he seems to be humble with the comments that and honest, humble and honest. I think that some people are super calm in their pre-match comments in order to not put pressure on themselves. But with him, it doesn't come off that way. He was honest that they're training partners, and he's not 100% sure how it's gonna go, but he is feeling confident. But Akainu clearly had different plans there, man. It's not even like he was jumping at Mr. Crimson a whole lot. It was more so just walking them down. Sometimes he would sweep whiff punish the limbs. And Akanu this whole tournament just got so much mileage out of that upside down kick on that pressure. We're going to be talking more about just exactly how amazing he played when it comes to his Luffy set tomorrow on No Neutral. But he goes and gets the victory over Mr. Crimson. Crimson goes to losers. Then the top 8 loser side, I want to say he plays Link Excello first.
Yes.
That was 3-2. Like,
yes.
That came down to the wire of Buki versus Dalsim. Yo, that's 2 characters that coming into this season after seeing the nerfs and things like that. Those are 2 of the most downplayed characters. Listen, Dalsim players, don't start crying. I know that you guys aren't downplaying Dalsim anymore. And I hate the fact that now that you're not downplaying Dalsim, you have the nerve to think that we need to give you a cookie or give you a type of certificate or award or something. You should have been downplaying the character in the first place. But, of course, Mr. Crimson goes, fights all the way through that loser side. Who did he play after? It was Junior next, actually.
Leo, yeah.
The Kin. That was a 3-0, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
that
Mr. Crimson came into that knowing the game plan. Traditionally, that's been kind of a bad matchup for Ken. Not saying that Ken can't win the matchup, but yeah, it's kind of like on paper, you kind of expect Dalsim to be doing work. So Mr. Crimson kind of handled that pretty well, but the struggles came before and after because Kills You, your boy Kills You.
Yes, bro, I loved it, bro.
Work.
Bro, that set made me so excited. So that came all the way down to the end. That's a matchup that I know Kills You historically, from what I remember seeing, that he doesn't really like for Karen, or at least he didn't used to. But clearly he has a new strategy and was able to overcome. But Mr. Crimson, always calm under pressure, always comfortable in the big moments, the same way we seen him beat Adam offline in Grand Finals of Red Bull Kumite, beat Luffy in an extremely strong set in Red Bull Kumite as well. He did the same thing here against Kills You. When it finally came down to the end, Kills You just couldn't find his way in. You know, Mr. Crimson is known for being very aggressive, rushing people down, EX fireballs into the teleport mix-up, things like that. But when it came to the Kills You match, at the end, he actually zoned him out beautifully, just like the OG Dalsim players. Kills You couldn't find his way in, and that's how he ended up closing out that 4th place.
Yeah, Mr. Crimson definitely represents both sides of Dalsim, and that was kind of a big theme of this overall event. A lot of the big clips came out of Mr. Crimson landing the optimal stuff, and if you didn't know Dalsim could do damage, he can do damage. Not only does he have the keep away ability, he also has the rush down, the full screen rush down pressure, and then the up close mix up game, and he also has some of the biggest damage from a dive kick in the game, right? So those clips are kind of circulating Twitter. People be like, "Oh wow, zoner, huh?" That it happens. It's been happening
Brian,
for 5 years now.
We call that combo the unprettier right there, Brian. But there's nothing Christian about it, nothing beautiful or holy. That's that when he spins 2 bars and gets more damage than you get for spinning the CA. It makes no sense for him to have it.
I'm sure some people get the reference. Thank you for educating me about that ahead of time. But yeah, you know, Dalsim does damage. I love seeing people surprised about it on social media every single time it happens. I wonder for how long that can go on, because people still like to set up the straw man of, oh, this is a zoner, and then act like flabbergasted when he does big damage. Dalsim's been a ranged rushdown character for half a decade now. Like we know how it goes these days. But yeah, Mr. Crimson knows how to optimize and capitalize on those situations, which makes it really difficult to play against, because you don't really know coming out of the gate with that when that round starts. Even if you saw one version of him the previous round, you don't know what you get in the next round. So he keeps everyone on their toes. And he moved on to losers finals 3-0 versus Vega Patch. So it was kind of a mix, he kind of was like under pressure, then kind of had everything just cruise control. So he 3-0 over Vega Patch to move into the grand finals, and man, this is where we saw both these players push the limit. Grand final first set, 3-2 Mr. Crimson to get the reset, and then 3-2 Mr. Crimson to close out the grand final. So it just couldn't get closer.
So that means that he had to fight Luffy, Mika, first to one with Capcom Cup on the line 2 times, and won each of those times. Stop playing with my man's name, bro. Mr. Crimson is a bad man. He's just looking ridiculous. The match just doesn't feel over until it says KO. But in the end of the day, What matters most is in a clutch situation, when it's last game, last round, who was able to close it out, and it was none other than Mr. Crimson.
Coming into top 8 on loser's side to claim a CPT event, I just want to give a shout out again to the Game 2K. All these stats I bring up, I'm always copying from him. He does mad work for the scene. It's been 42 regular season events of nobody being able to win a CPT event starting the top 8 in loser's side. The last time this was accomplished was September 28th, 2019, right? So that was the last event where we had someone able to win a top 8 from the loser side. So it's like under like a 10% or less chance for someone to actually win an event starting top 8 and loser side. So to see Mr. Crimson weather that storm and make it out, I mean, this dude, if you had any doubts before from Red Bull Kumite, you know, which you shouldn't have, this man was the first man to ever qualify for Street Fighter V Capcom Cup. You know, maybe he had a bit of a dry spell in the meantime, but man, he's back in business. He's in top form, and I'm so happy to see Mr. Crimson cooking it up in CPT and making it to Capcom Cup once again.
Brian, amazing stat right there that you bring up from the Game 2K. 42 CPT events since someone has actually been able to do that all the way back in 2019. Amazing feat from Mr. Crimson. How can someone accomplish such a thing? Well, we should hear it from the man himself, Mr. Crimson. Of course, we actually have an interview with Jammers and Logan Song.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome, fresh off the back of the Capcom Pro Tour France, Spain, and Portugal tournament this weekend. Myself, Logan Sama, and Jammers had the pleasure of calling the action, and we now have the pleasure of speaking to the champion, Mr. Crimson, who adds not only to his Red Bull Kumite title, but also a guaranteed spot at Capcom Cup VIII at the end of the year.
Yeah, man, it's absolutely thoroughly deserved. Fantastic. Again, ever since he made that transition to PC, Logan, he's been more enjoyable to watch. He's had much more fun playing the game. And again, he's breaking into that upper echelon. Heck, he's probably even there and ascending to even newer heights in the competitive scene for Street Fighter V. And what better way to cement his mark and let everyone know that you will see him at the Capcom Cup Finals.
One of the players also who, you know, was so effective at implementing the new mechanics of V-shift into his game, and you know it plays so much into the effectiveness of Dalsim, having another defensive option, not being tied into, you know, only utilizing his teleport, interruption buttons, backdashing, V reversals. It just adds something into the mix which you have to kind of plan for and look out for, and he's really embraced that a great deal. Although, to be fair, in this set he wasn't really relying on it too much, but the kind of the fear of it certainly plays into it, especially in a command grab character like Mika, as Luffy was using.
Yeah, for sure, and it's a case where that changed Mika's gameplay, and Luffy kind of said this and was lamenting about this a fair bit. It's like, where I have to make even more daring reads on offense. My Oki isn't the same as it once was, which you could say about a lot of characters. But again, like you said, Crimson seldom used it, and just the threat of it being there, even if he was going to V-reversal or not even use it, is what made Luffy change his mentality entirely and resort to other options to try and even close it out there.
Well, enough of our, you know, postulating on what Mr. Crimson was thinking about and what his game plans were. We can just speak to the man himself, and I hope that we have him on the line, ready to go. Mr. Crimson, are you there?
I'm here.
Yes!
There we go.
Hello! Hello!
I hear Jammers a bit low, but it's alright.
Well, I'll try and make sure that he shouts for you.
Okay, yeah.
Congratulations on your victory. It was very, very hard fought. You went to the losers bracket quite early on against Akainu. Now, you did say that you were worried about facing him in a first to two. A lot of your games went to a fifth game in the top 8. Do you feel, as a player, you're more effective in longer sets?
Yes, 100%. And also, I think this is one of my best thing. I can adapt to my opponent, and my character is based on adaptations about how my opponent will deal with the matchup. He will jump a lot, he will dash, he will try to finish the poke, he will try to counter poke the poke, and that's why Dalsim is really strong on long set, I think.
Fair enough. I kind of got to look at Dalsim in a new light now. It's all based on adaptations there. And again, some of the matchups went to the wire, and some of the he completely steamrolled them. But my next question to you as well, Mr. Crimson, is you didn't use any of your secondaries, the Rashid or the Colleen. Were you 100% confident that Dalsim could take you the whole way in the tournament from start to finish? Did you ever think you needed to change one of your characters or to any of your secondaries?
I think in this meta of Dalsim is the strongest and the most complete meta of Dalsim because, like you say, he has a defensive option, the V-shift. So now, even matchup where we get killed by mix-up and stuff, he have another tools. So now I think there is really low chance that I counter pick, except against few character. If I can I do a bit of promo or something?
Please.
Okay, so tomorrow there will be a matchup chart about Dalsim on my Twitter.
Okay.
I will, don't forget to follow me, Mr. Crimson, and you will see who is the problematic character and who is the easy character. But right now, there is not a lot of hard character for him.
Very interesting. So you feel like Dalsim has a favorable matchup spread at the moment as the meta stands?
Yes, I think. Or even or favorable, yeah, most of them.
But nothing that makes you feel... Because for the whole time of Street Fighter V, you've played with at least 2 characters. Normally, Dalsim and a grappler you've used a lot of the times. Obviously, we saw you with Laura. We saw you with G. G's not really there anymore now. You've always kind of felt like you needed something for those matchups where characters can get in on Dalsim. Now you're saying with this V-shift mechanic, it allows you to play in those matchups where before you were terrified of characters getting in and effectively just looping you to death.
Exactly. Before, I was putting my strategy on having Dalsim, the control character, and some kind of random character with I can just kill the opponent before he kill me. But yeah, now my strategy is to play Rashid as secondary. It works less well than G and then Laura because I don't know. It's hard to adapt myself to the character. It takes time. I will not give up on that. But yeah, on this tournament specifically, and same at the Red Bull Committee, I had 5-5 matchup or easy matchup. So I didn't need to use another character.
One of your really impressive performances was against Killsu in the losers bracket. You seem to be very dominant there. Obviously, he's a player that he knows you very well. You know him very well. You were both on the same team. What do you think about Killsu as a young player? And talk us about how difficult that match was to come out on top.
I think he has a great potential. I will look how we will do in the next CPT because he understands the game really well, and also he has something who is really important in Street Fighter is the discipline, and he can control his emotional decision. And this is probably one of the most important thing in Street Fighter V. He has a great potential, and I hope I will see him later in big events.
Fair play. Speaking of CPT, obviously this region has another opportunity. My question to you is, will you enter the second and final one, but only using Rashid?
That's a good, that could be a good challenge.
Oh dear. I just gave an idea.
I know there is money on the line, so
Yes.
I will probably enter. Not sure, but probably. But yeah, why not do it with a secondary to warm up and practice and see what I can do if I can use it at the Capcom Cup, or maybe just with Dalsim and see what happens. It will depend a lot of the next tournament and how it goes.
We saw the NA East tournament happen recently as well. The name before yours in the Capcom Cup is Punk. Obviously at Red Bull Kumite, we had a fun rivalry building between you two. Would you like to play Punk again at Capcom Cup?
Of course, I would be really happy, and I'm looking forward to playing him again. Him and so many other players. Idom is a player that I want to play a lot also. I want a run back of the run back of the run back because I have a long story with Idom until Evo 2017, if I remember. So yeah, I'm just so happy to have qualified myself again. Even if I know it's online, but I done it and that's enough for me.
I want to ask, because this is the first year that the Capcom Pro Tour events have been split into sub-regions within Europe West. Normally it's everyone playing each other, but this year around it was France, Spain and Portugal getting their own events. How important was this to you in terms of the stability of the tournament? And then also, you know, as someone who's already at the top of the French Street Fighter competitive community, how important do you think it is to have these events so that we can see new names appearing in these top 16s that maybe would benefit from the exposure and the opportunity?
Yeah, that's a really great thing. Right now we can see players like Nastinas, I don't remember the top 16 exactly, but there is a lot of players in France that need to shine more. Adoluki, Cody, a great Cody, and we have so many good players, even Freya, TK. There is a lot of players who need to shine more, and I think those events are a good opportunity for them also.
I have one more question for you. Obviously, Grand Finals was Luffy and yourself. Right now, if we were to run a team tournament with Paris versus Lyon, who would win?
Lyon, of course. Yeah, they know it. Today was the proof. Paris team is really strong also. Honestly, there is skills. Convi did really well recently. Akainu beat me today. So, but we are crazy in Lyon. TK, Nassim, me. Who can stop us? No, so it would be really, really funny to do that.
I hope we can all do that offline very, very soon. Congratulations on your victory. I really look forward to seeing you at Capcom Cup. Not sure if I look forward to you entering with Rashid next time round, but I'm very interested to see how that looks as well. It's great that you are very consistent both online and offline. You've had results on both. It really proves that all of your hard work and dedication is paying off, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you offline again at Capcom Cup at the end of the season. Congratulations to you, Mr. Crimson. Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure hearing from Mr. Crimson. Congrats again to him on qualifying for Capcom Cup. He wasn't even trying to wait for France #2. And something that I'm not trying to wait too much longer for is none other than the CPT Australia 1 Top 16. But when you talk about this bracket, just overall, Brian, this is one of my favorite regions. I had the pleasure of hosting and doing analysis work for this region over at the Intel World Open. And going into it, something that I was so confident of, and I stood on 10 toes down, was that Travis Styles was easily the favorite, the best player in the region. I thought that it was gonna be free, a wash, but BK Sama, the Urian, comes out of nowhere and gets the W there. Dominantly, I might add, just straight body bagged them. But just as a whole in that region, there's so many players. Somniac, the OG, Rumors, that's the new blood. Brian, me and you, we saw him at CPT season final.
Oh yeah, he was doing mad work. So Rumors was the one who won the CPT 2020 Open Online event, and with this 2020 season final structure, they brought Somniac in to play the set, and they had a really close set. But the OG kind of had to say, hey, we respect your elders a little bit. I've been around the block for quite some time. It's not my first rodeo here, and Somniac won that set 4-3. Somniac been repping Bison for 2 decades at this point. He's been putting in work for a long time with Bison. And I think the takeaway here is that this region is not static and the players are hungry. For a long time, it felt like the major representatives from Australia were going to be the Travis Styles, the Somniac, and of course ROF, Requiem of Fear, kind of a little bit of inspiration for the mustache here. He's been doing work for a long time with that birdie. And those players were the guys that you would see sort of both traveling outside of Australia, coming to different CPT events. But the new names were people like Panda, right? Panda came out in those CPT, and the CPT 2020 event is kind of like the new blood representing some new players in the scene. And he was on a great run in 2020. So he's shown that he has what it takes to keep up with these players. And of course, Rumors was, I don't think anyone really went, no disrespect to Rumors, I don't think anyone went into that event expecting that to be the name that you saw in that first place position. But once you saw the gameplay, you could see why he was in that position. And then now with Intel World Open just recently closing out, with BK Sama closing it out, and BK Sama, once again, no disrespect, he was sort of in the middle of the pack of the upper level players for the past couple of years in my view, right? Like, so maybe I'm missing out on some of the wins, but usually you would see his name, he would be like a top 16, top 8 competitor, putting up strong performances, but never really closing out the big wins. To win Intel World Open, to win that prize pool, that is, I mean, they're trying.
That pressure.
That's a big win to have. That's one of the biggest prize pools in the region for a while for Street Fighter, right? So to see him come out and win that over the favorites, over the established Australian players, it just shows to me that these players are hungry. The skill levels, they're dynamic. Things don't stay the same, and I love to see that.
This is one of the most competitive regions that we have overall.
And I think overall the big theme here is don't expect the same order to remain. That's one thing that the Street Fighter V community has suffered from, or the Street Fighter fighting game community in general suffers from, is they treat skill as some ephemeral idea, some status where you reach it or it's inherent to you, it's built into you. And I've always said, you know, forget all that. It's about the work you put in. Talent is one thing, but hard work trumps talent any day of the week. So I love to see this region show that the players who are hungry and who are putting in the work are starting to reap the rewards of their effort, and that you can't just rest on your laurels. You can't just sit back and expect to consistently win against people who are hungry and chomping at your heels. So we mentioned all these favorites. Who knows? There might be one more person that we have not even seen or been on our radar. Maybe someone who never made those top 16s in the past might come out and qualify for this event. So I am excited to see who today is going to make their way into that top 8 to have a fighting chance to qualify for this CPT top 8 for Australia.
You shouldn't only admire my work, but also concentrate a little more on your lessons, Mana. What's the meaning of fate? You shall know. You should try to learn to use your power a little better.
wait to run off to mom now.
These matches are going to be even more ridiculous.
If you know anything about Street Fighter, you do not doubt the GOAT.
My man is always hitting go. You thought I was playing? Oh, you're hella dead.
The main event.
Help me out, Nadeshko.
Oh, and look how much it means to him. Wow.
It's not over. Are you serious? My man is breathing right now. My man is breathing.
What's up, everybody? We are back for another week of Capcom Pro Tour action, coming to you from the land down under. My name is James Chen, and I am joined here by Mr. Vicious. How you doing?
Please, Mr. Vicious is my father. I'm very excited to be.
I'm Mr. Vicious?
Technically, maybe. I don't know. We're going to have to get a DNA test for that one. But I'll tell you what, we don't need it for the players that are going to be showing up for the Australia region. Again, this is that qualifying spot to see the Unga from down under. Really and truly, because they talked about it a lot, right? That's been the main scene. That's been the main twitch that we've been seeing for some of these players to show off some of their talent. And they're here today to do so again in this top 16, one of my favorite regions personally. In fact, let's take a look at some of the favorites that you may know as well. I know you guys are tuning in real late, but pay attention to this. Somniac versus TB going off right off the bat in the quarterfinals. Then, of course, Travis Styles going up against teammate Requiem of Fear right after. And then, of course, Rumors versus Shen. And to round it out, Panda versus Total Sagat. So much to be said, but we got to get into the rest of it, right? We have the losers as well.
Right, so for 8 players starting on the loser side of the bracket, you see Bikre and Space Ghost going up against each other. Goldie, BK Sama, A Wild Llama, Darius, and ZG going up against Rups. And you know what? I mean, a lot of these names here are not necessarily, I feel like, you know, known to a lot of the players outside of Australia. But I mean, look what happened last year with Rumors, for example. I know Brian and Rob talked about Rumors a little bit at the start, but he was not one of the players that I think coming into the tournament, people were, you know, picking as one of the favorites to win, especially using an unorthodox character like Cody, who's only gotten better, by the way, since then.
Yeah,
so
very explosive year for Rumors, without a doubt. Then you kind of see the leveling up that's been happening over that course of time, especially at the Intel World Open, right? We had BK Sama actually taking down everybody in a very convincing fashion as well. Not only has he been winning the Unga Down Under series, or at least he won one of the important events out there, he took down one of his demons, Travis Styles, who's been getting the most of everybody, I feel like, in Australia. And for good reason, right? Everybody's been kind of having their eye on a lot of people in here. Travis Styles is definitely one of them within the top 3.
Right, and the craziest thing about it, you mentioned BK Sama taking out everybody, starting in the losers bracket. So someone sent BK Sama to losers already, and so that's just an indication of the kind of competition that these players are facing right now. So it's definitely not going to be an easy run for any of these players. Now, as usual, on the first 4 of the top, on the winner's side, when you win, you're in tomorrow. So
yeah, that's right. All you got to do is just win one, and you're big chilling. And that's exactly what we want to see, right? That's the kind of fire that's lit under these players, where it's like, okay, I could kind of see the end in sight. I just need to win and execute. But it's going to be a whole different story coming from the loser side. But that's you get eliminated once, and it's like, GG's. It was me.
But again, you know, one of the things that's really cool about this, even just, you know, as a quick preview of the entire top 16, I mean, look at this. We got a Bison, a Balrog, a Birdie, a Urian, a Cody, a Zeku, a Akuma, a Sagat, a Fang, a Guile, another Akuma, another Urian, a Gil, a Manat, Vega,
a Manat and a Vega.
Dude, I feel like Akuma and Urian are the only repeat names that I said in here. So in top 16, we have like 14 different characters represented. That is, if that's who they go with, because we know these players have thrown.
In fact, it might be even more, right? Because there is some people in this roster that happen to play Birdie as well.
Yeah.
So we could even see even more diversity than anticipated. But we are going to get into our first matchup pretty soon, I'd imagine. Somniac versus TB. Now, TB I've seen only like a handful of times, but I am going to spin it towards Somniac just for a little bit. He has been the veteran for the Australian community for so long, rocking that Bison and really putting on his game for the rest of the world to see and really kind of set the standard for the Australian FGC.
He was the one that was favored to win Australia last year, right? Was he the one that got second place in there?
No, he actually took down Rumors. He took down Rumors in the Capcom finals. At least not in the span of like the CPT qualifiers, but in the actual final itself. Yeah. So Rumors actually took him down in the qualifiers, and then he got his run back into the finals, right?
Exactly. So Somniac definitely one of the favorites coming into here. So he'd like to get that quick first win and just slide on over to
that'd
Sunday
be nice.
top 8.
That'd be nice. And his opponent is going to be TB from Western Australia, rocking the Urian. So you'd imagine this is the kind of matchup that both of these characters have played for, or at least the character matchup that they're familiar with, because pretty much day one going into it, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see. Very exciting to see it. Somniac versus TB, I believe we might have their quotes ready.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what they had to say before getting into it. Urian is busted, and my opponent is strong, so I'm hoping luck is on my side. I will say he's also a cheater. He does have certain power-ups. He does have the new father power-up, which has done great, has done wonders.
For the likes of like
CPT.
Sako and Justin, you know, the dad power-up.
The dad power-up, man.
Yeah, even one of our producers here with the dad power-up recently,
man.
you know.
Damn right. Let's take a look at what TB had to say about Somniac going into it.
If I win, I outplayed my opponents. If I lose, it's because Urian needs, but the classic option select.
That is
the
the FGC ad-lib sheet that people fill in their time to wait for brackets, right? You could literally underline the name Urian and replace it with anybody else.
Yep.
Especially top tier.
This is the classic option select right here.
Without a doubt in my mind.
If I win, it's me. That's the low tier hero status, right? I mean, that's why people like me were big low tier hero fans. You know, when you win, you're like, I totally beat you with this character, which means I'm better than you. And if I lose, it's just like, I'm supposed to lose, my character's bad, you know? So, you know,
and that's the weird thing. We kind of like to harp on this every single time we get onto CPT. I feel like it's in such a good place right now.
Oh, yeah.
That, you know, everybody's pretty viable. Everybody's pretty viable.
Yeah. And again, like I said, with the character list that we see, we've had every character represented in top 16 now. I think the entire cast during the course of this year, every single character has been represented.
I think we were waiting for a Honda, right? We were waiting for a Honda. We got that wish fulfilled.
We got that wish fulfilled. And Urian, I mean, with the China region, he definitely overstayed his welcome a little bit. But, you know,
especially with DCQ, yeah.
But let's see how Somniac can handle this matchup here. As he said, Urian is a strong character. We all know how strong this character is, but very beatable. Not even as strong as he was last year.
On top of having a very competent opponent as well. Man, making his way through, caught the counter hit as well, but now just making a lot of reads based off of movement, taking down Somniac, at least pushing him to the corner little by little. But Somniac does have an activation route in the trigger. Let's see what happens if he can make the most of it.
And it's interesting, too, because you didn't see Somniac punish the whiff EX chariot tackle, which, like, China region was so good at because they've seen that move 1,000 times.
Yeah, and they memorized the space into a T. But I will say Somniac opts to go for movement a lot. Ooh, not quite dead yet.
Not dead yet. Oh, the throw. And you know what's funny, too, because I've always said this in all the CPTs. You can see at the end of the round, the shimmy is the most powerful tool. But Somniac was like, nah, I'm just going for the throw. And he was right.
And what an option, too, the tick throw especially, to kind of put that message into TB's head. If he's put in that same situation, I feel like Somniac is going to go for the actual throw bait. But we'll see if it even gets there, right? TB has been blocking a lot of great life. And look at the big exchange. Hey, that's actually great for TB because he actually spent that meter to catch Somniac off guard and pretty much gain the momentum and the life lead as well.
Right. Oh. All right, backing off. Both of them backing off. And so there you see Bison, Somniac using the EX Cycle Ball. Classic way to get in.
And still catching TB off guard.
Ooh,
he tried it.
But he didn't have the meter for any V trigger, so he didn't get anything neat off of that yet. Still hasn't built it up yet. There it is. Now Aegis Reflector is ready to go.
But we'll see if TB's even going to use it yet. I mean, he will if he gets it confirmed. Now he's going to probably have to. Yeah, the life lead is now gone.
What side? What side? Oh, he's not going to go.
He is.
There was. Okay.
That was way too close to comfort.
Oh, no. Just a tiny little bit of the same.
You saw it. You saw it, right? Somniac was setting up for the whiff throw. But now it's going to be TB. Goes for the reset and the throw to finish it. I'm actually very surprised he didn't go for the meaty headbutt after the reset, right? He just went raw for the throw. Nice call out there from TB.
He's trying to get that Turkish bread, man.
Trying to make that money. He stays eating.
All right, got him in the corner, but just
The track down, James.
Yeah, I was about to say he was gonna get out of the corner, but TB definitely chased him down. Nice. Oh
yes.
no! What a weird slide situation there. I mean, I don't think he had the meter at the time to cancel it. Otherwise, he would have.
I'd have to check that out again. There's plus frames though, getting out of the corner, swiping away with the fears, just in case a button came out from TB, and the check with the chariot tackle EX. What's going to be the trigger activation?
And remember, this is a tricky situation here because we're in the first round. Oh, nice chase down. Here we go. Okay. Now, I like the idea there. Put a little bit of second guessing in the Somniac's head. Wow, just punishes the V skill.
Yep. Trying to do it within range. Now back-to-back throws. Somniac is just walking his way a little bit. This is kind of tough. A little tough for Somniac. TB does have it charged up the V skill. Anti-air is there this time.
Went for the shimmy there. Nice. And then checks the forward dash from Somniac. And one of the things I was trying to say is, remember, this is the top 16. It's still just 2 out of 3.
Correct.
It is 2 out of 3. So TB now is at 1 game out from getting into that top 8.
I was curious about that sequence as well, right? Somniac blocked an EX Metallic Sphere and decided to dash forward. TB didn't even have to do much to catch the dash. In fact, TB was confident about the read, dashed forward, and ended up getting it with a light sequence. That's the kind of read that was like pretty... It's one of those reads where it's like, okay, I definitely know how Somniac wants to play. Like, nobody else would want to go in after a block fireball like that in that scenario.
So probably knows that Somniac maybe just has a little bit of an aggression streak.
Or Turkish Bed was just like, I should be able to go in after this. That's, on paper, it's my turn, right?
All right, well, look at this. The surprise chariot tackle finding its mark again. The classic. And so Somniac tries to return the favor with the surprise scissors, but his is plus on block, so Bison's is a little good.
You love that counter hit sequence. Chariot tackle now forward into the corner, back dashing away with the read off of TB's throw.
Oh, he tried that anti-air again. Yeah, it was just a little odd angle. Oh, speaking of anti-air, what side stays in the front?
That was a big swipe down for Somniac, but still at a life deficit. V-trigger is coming out from TB.
Mix-up time. He just goes for the washing machine. 2 crouching medium kicks. Oh, he was standing. What? There was no counter hit? He just ate that. I'm not sure what happened.
Possibly pre-jump frames involved. Maybe he chose jump as a movement option.
But there you go. TB is at match point.
Or maybe he blocked at the last second crouching. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But yeah, like I said, this if TB can take another round here, he's into top 8, and Somniac will have to fight his way through the loser side of the bracket.
Oh, what an interruption there from TB.
Yes.
Using his meter very well also on defense. I feel like he hasn't missed too many. He's missed 1, but since then, he's been pretty on point with the EX headbutt.
Somniac blocked it once, and 1 time only. But you can tell that's a good read on the aggression again from Somniac. He wants that win. He's feeling a little bit of that desperation.
You see a little bit more movement, more forward movement coming from the side of TB due to the fact that he is slightly down.
And he's armored too, so he can throw fireballs for free. Oh, again, that's finding its mark. Oh no,
boy, you cannot. No, you cannot.
Okay, out of there. Gets to escape that. Okay. He doesn't have the meter for his own V-trigger because he used that V-reversal.
That could have been a big whiff punish for TB.
Yeah, there was the attempt at the shimmy. No anti-air again, back-to-back, 3rd time.
And he teched the throw. What a choice to make. Somniac anti-airs, but it's still pretty close because of the gray life that accumulated.
Okay.
Somniac is within position and gets it. Yes, sir. You see TB opted for the movement, but Somniac now stays alive.
Yeah, I'm not sure what TB was trying to do. He's like, he got hit out of the air. It's like he was trying to jump back or
100%.
something.
He was in fear of the throw or the command grab option. Somniac read it 2 paces ahead.
Yeah.
Get himself that V up on the top there, but TB is trying to make himself a little bit less vulnerable to this offensive options from Somniac.
And Bison, of course, now taking advantage of his plus frames. Again, as you saw earlier, Psycho, there's plus. He's just plus all the time on all of his best buttons. Oh. Okay, finally blocks that. And there he goes, steals a future turn with the heavy kick afterwards. Now has the activation.
And again, doing Bison things. You see the amount of gray life. You see the amount of chip. TB has not been intimidated yet. Oh boy,
Wow.
but that's gotta be something.
Okay, Psycho Crusher, that's a smart. I was thinking maybe EX Scissors, but Psycho Crusher will accomplish the same thing, and he's still got some V-trigger left. Tries the anti-air. That wasn't a cross-up. It was heavy
not.
kick from the front.
And that was tricky. That could have been a medium kick at that position to get the cross up. Actually, I feel like it was a little bit too shallow to get the cross up. I'm not sure. But
That was some super turbo nonsense.
that's nasty, yeah. In other words, it's
Bison,
nasty.
he
Anything
used to
super
have
turbo
that-
related, dirty.
He had that heavy kick or medium kick, cross-up or not cross-up
Even like a
shenanigans,
jump-in
dude.
heavy punch, how he alters himself, that's even worse. That's not going to cross up. But I'll tell you what, if it does, I wouldn't be surprised.
But that's got to feel good for Somniac there, getting those last 2 rounds to manage to tie it up. But what feels good is getting a raw jump-in combo like that for TB to drain a fourth of your life.
Yeah, speaking of jump fierces again, TB making it work, getting the solid read on a jump in against Somniac. But to be fair, Somniac hasn't been anti-airing everything, so that's why that was such a great option to go to at round start. Big punish now, TB gets a forward throw.
Weird slide timing from Somniac. That's the second time he slid in a situation where he was confident he was going to get the hit.
Yeah, the DMs are closed. Somniac does not have enough life to trade off with that EX knee drop.
I mean, it was the right choice. You can win that one, but just a little too late, so he gets a trade. That was
That's
not what he wanted
whatsoever.
Oh, I mean, it was weird because it kind of low profiled, but look at that, spending one of his V reversal bar, his V trigger bars. He got half of it back, but still, it's going to be a little bit more before he gets the full thing.
Oh, yeah, he had it charged up way before.
Here we go. Somniac is down big.
Oh, he's about to be down bad if he keeps taking some more of these trades.
All right, here we go. V-trigger activated. Are you going to go for crazy V-trigger sequence right now? Fine. Oh, he's going to be able to punish that.
Oh.
He didn't combo into the command
He
grab.
did not. He did not. That would have led to an even bigger opportunity. Nice anti-air still on point with Somniac. Not in fear of the trade.
That's how he lost that a previous round, was he just let...
Oh, that was raw, but again, he would have been able to get into the cycle pressure anyway.
Oh,
TB, he had nothing to lose on that one. He had nothing to lose. He had a round to play with, and that was the big bet. TB, the big bet. I'm telling you, man, TBB, actually. But that was such a phenomenal read from TB.
Yeah, and Somniac is in losers.
He's in losers. That's just how the. Hey, man, you better crack a cold one. It's gonna be just like this for the entire day.
This is how it's all going, right? I mean, when the last one that I commented was the China one, Shanghai went to losers bracket right away. It's like the favorites are not the favorites.
That's what I like to see, to be honest with you. As much as I am a fan of Somniac, I do love seeing TB stepping up to the plate with that much speculation that has happened in the pre-shows, just from watching the CPTs, just from watching the Australian region. That's what I like to see, people rising up to the occasion.
Oh, yeah. And again, it's one of my favorite things about this whole format that Capcom's been running this year. We've been getting to see a lot of new faces this way. We've been getting, Brazil has had its chance to shine, Midwest had a chance to shine, and, China, all these different places. And now this is Australia's time, not bundled in with everybody else. They actually get the chance to show off all their players like Somniac, like TB, and like Travis Styles and ROF, who are coming up next.
Yeah, and again, they've been going back and forth from the last time they played over at the IWO, again, into their qualifying series. ROF and Travis Styles ended up being the top 2 seeds for that tournament, and now they're going to be going up against each other right off the bat, a top 16 teammates, by the way.
That's
that
right.
play each other's characters if need be.
Yep. And it's going to be an interesting one because it's going to be Boxer and Birdie potentially, right? And so that's not a match that we see a lot of. That is definitely not.
We've been seeing it a lot more this year than ever, I feel like.
Of that particular matchup? Of Boxer
Well,
and Birdie?
to be fair, it's just because they've been facing off against each other pretty often.
Oh, these two. Okay.
Yeah,
That's these two in
I'm being
particular.
specific. I'm being specific.
Yeah,
You're right.
okay.
My mistake.
Fair enough.
I do believe we have our quotes ready between Travis Styles and ROF. Let us take a look what they had for their top 16 appearance. Travis Styles says, "My thoughts are vacant, as is the mindset I must have to play optimal boxer."
We need to ask Brian F about that one. We need to talk to Brian F and see how he feels about that quote.
He feels that way pretty often. I feel like with Brian F, but I'd have to ask him myself. You might be, you might be onto something here. Let's take a look at ROF and what he had to say.
Let's see what ROF. He says, "See, it all stops tonight. See, Travis, you can wear any Balrog costume you want to, but you know, and I know, that you're only half the man that I am, and I have half the brain that you do.
That's great. That's actually beast.
But see, here's the thing, right? I mean, Travis said that he has to shut off his mind. So in other words, he's saying he has zero brain. And so if ROF has half the brain of zero brain, that's still zero brain.
Yeah.
They're still equal. They both are playing with zero brain right now.
That's going to be really confusing. I'm glad I didn't pursue math any further than my degree and went into the TPT. Okay, so it's going to be Travis Styles versus Requiem of Fear, as you mentioned. Balrog and Birdie. That matchup is going to be played in hand. Now, I'm thinking about the V-set. Travis Styles has been pretty confident with V-set 1 in terms of this specific matchup with ROF. I've seen ROF dabble with Birdie's V-Skill 2 a lot more often than not for certain setups to pursue even any sort of like forward movement.
Space control.
Because there's going to be a lot of times where Balrog can out-footsie Birdie.
Okay. I'm curious to see what they're going to go with here and get this match going underway. Again, thanks everyone for tuning in to some awesome Australia action over here, especially all the people in Australia watching right now. I know it's cold and winter right now.
That's why I brought the hoodie. I'm right there with you. It is so hot in Southern California, but I'll tell you what, I know you guys are experiencing harsh winters. I'm all about it. I brought it for a reason.
You were thinking ahead
there,
man.
I'll never forget that, by the way. They're in opposite seasons.
Yep.
I will never forget it.
Yep. All right. Well, here we go. It is the characters that we were expecting. Boxer and Birdie, teammates, both on team order. Here they go.
And look at the V-set, 1-1 for both. I really enjoy that.
So the standard strategy here, right? The early Season 1, Season 2 strategies here.
That's absolutely right.
Yep, and there you go. Even though Birdie, I mean, the range on his buttons are really good. It's just if you whiff any of them, Balrog gets the free whiff punish if he's charged up.
Yeah.
That's what changes a lot of the matches versus Boxer.
Yeah, so most of the time I'm looking for ROF to kind of walk forward and kind of gain that estate little by little and be within range to get like a -4 punish, but it's so difficult to...
Oh, no, an execution error for sure on Requiem of Fear's side. Now there's... wow. What a button choice right there.
Coming out. Yes, sir. Travis Styles now nullifying that offensive movement, but still in V-trigger.
Yep, it's still a lot of damage here. Still going to be one little tiny hit and a command throw, and he can win.
Yeah, having that walk speed also really helps him out in terms of like closing the gap. See, look at that, right?
Yeah.
Just being able to be within range, just in case dash punch is the option, he will be able to punish.
Tries to go for a surprise, maybe expecting Travis Styles to dash in there with a dash punch. He still has that V-trigger rock in there, still halfway full.
And that's fine. Look at how much more pressure and intimidating it is just having Birdie walk up, but not as intimidating as a meaty roundhouse to the grill. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. ROF does get crush countered. Buttons on the way up. Not going to help him in the first round, but let's see if it works out for him in the second round. What an interruption. Oh, and speaking of.
The dolphin, but going to get hit out of the air. Oh, again, a couple of execution errors, I feel like, from ROF. This definitely wasn't a frame kill situation because he was definitely punished for that.
Correct.
All right. Yeah, don't hit a button after that because even though he's minus, it's just like weird distances, weird ranges. What a whiff punish. Oh, man.
That was actually beautifully done from ROF.
And it's one of those things that you have to learn against Boxer, right? If he's going to dash punch, you have to walk back and forth enough to get the light dash punch to whiff and be ready to whiff punish it. Because if you don't, he's going to be able to dash in for free.
And speaking of dash in for free, especially after that pressure from V-trigger, we're not going to see anything out of that.
Yeah, that one is definitely punishable, and it's enough for the kill. Travis Styles taking game number 1.
I was waiting, hopefully seeing ROF pop that V-trigger in a different way. Maybe he tried to do so at that attempt for the EX Bullhorn, but a little bit of a mishap, to be quite honest with you. I'd have to look. I personally want to just like check out the inputs as we play. That'd be super sick because I want to know, like, hey, where was the trigger?
Hey, someone at home could do that right now if they wanted to check for you, you know.
Shen.
High fight, right? One of those two.
Yep.
All right, but no change. I was wondering if we were going to see a change from ROF, maybe to go with that other V skill. But no, he's sticking with V skill 1. Going to stick with the...
It kind of serves the same purpose, right? If he's going to get a knockdown, he's going to get the can, right, to advance forward.
Oh, nice V-shift. Okay, V-shift break.
Oh, big trade-off. Not going to be in benefit for Travis Styles. Headache City. One more, those is going to hurt. Oh, but so is a whiff punish off of the throw bait. ROF nice and smooth in the first round of game 2.
There you go. And, you wonder why, for example, ROF got crush countered by the heavy kick, right? Well, if you know someone's going to shimmy, you got to hit buttons.
You got to hit him harder than that.
Well, look at this, just swinging as much as he can right now.
Looking more of a boxer than boxer.
Oh, nice interrupt, but missed the combo. Again, we've seen a couple of execution mistakes from...
big trade-off. No, he was not ready for it.
Yeah, didn't go for the continuation on that crouch medium kick, the target combo.
Yeah, a little bit of extra damage would have been just fine. He wouldn't be able to convert anything out of it.
Dude, you see him walk up.
Ooh, yeah, punish time.
Okay, this is going to be... Oh, actually, never mind. I was about to say, the good thing is the corner carry, but never mind. He used the reset for the throw and then just with punish. I think ROF was expecting Travis Styles to walk forward, and he did wake up command grab.
Yeah. It would have been great if ROF actually stuffed out a dash punch. That would have been godlike. But I could kind of see where his head is at, but right now it's actually facing Travis Styles' fist.
Yeah, this is not looking good for ROF. It's a perfect to close it out. Travis Styles winning the match of 0 brain usage, and he is going to be moving forward 2-0 over ROF.
I mean, you said it the best before the match started. Half a 0 is still going to be 0.
Exactly. So, I mean,
I'm no mathematizer, but I definitely know that's going to be
mathematizer.
I'm no mathematizer, but that's definitely going to be the case, right?
I mean, the cool thing about it is you could tell through those quotes and everything how much these two are probably really good friends, and love ribbing each other and stuff like that. So obviously they probably are both sad that they had to fight each other, but in this situation, I'm sure Travis will say, "Well, you're more sad than I am right now."
Yeah, it'd be like that. Maybe they're like, you know what? I think you'll be just fine. I'm not gonna beat myself over beating you up. Right? That's gonna be just fine for Travis Styles. It's something that we've seen if you've been following the Australian scene for quite some time. Seeing these kind of results, it was bound to happen. They had to take each other out one way or another. It's been happening for the last couple of months. But we're moving on into Rumors versus Shen Khan. Now, this is a match that I've been looking forward to as well, as Rumors has been the Cody player to watch, and Shen Khan actually making pretty big waves with Zeku, but has also taken the helm of being a tournament organizer.
Right, exactly. And, it's so cool when you have the players like that taking that kind of tournament organizing role, because, one of the things that I always like to talk about is just the thankless kind of like underappreciated role of these tournament organizers during this pandemic, running all these online events and everything, to have these people sacrifice a lot of their time and effort. It's hard work doing this tournament organizer. So shout outs to all the tournament organizers out there, like South Mine League, like the online locals, like, everybody.
NLBC, Down Under. I'm going to say it every time. Every time, baby.
Down Under. And shout outs to all of them for the work and effort that these guys are putting in. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm liking the tone you're setting, honestly. Let's see what they have for this matchup as we get into it. Rumors versus Shen Khan, again, being the Cody main versus the TO. I do believe we have our quotes.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The TOs can always use that as the option select too, right?
We'll see if that even comes into play. I do believe we have our quotes ready between the two. Let's see it. Rumor says, Shen Khan has been living in my head rent-free for the past 4 years. Here's hoping I can finally break the curse. That is actually very true.
Interesting.
I might have forgotten that small detail.
Okay, so Shen Khan has been I guess the demon for Rumors for this whole entire time. Let's see what Shen Khan has to say.
That's right. They played not too long ago. Hello.
Well, Rumors is
easy clap. That's what I'm talking about. Shen Khan.
Rent-free in the head, man. That is a statement here. But pride comes before a fall, perhaps.
Maybe.
We'll see what happens. But I mean, this would be the environment for Rumors to. I mean, like I said, last year he had the breakthrough in Australia. He took the qualifier, I should say. Maybe this is the breakthrough now to finally take out his demon Shen Khan.
This would be the stage to do it on, honestly, because there is so much on the line here, as we've seen time and time again throughout every one of these qualifiers. Straight shot into Capcom Cup if you are the winner. So we'll see what happens between Rumors and Shen Khan. We see the Cody, we see the Zeku. It's exactly what we were expecting. Here comes game one.
Yeah, Zeku, of course, originator of the Strider. I wonder if we're going to see some more of that kind of lore happening here.
We'll see. I like what you're putting down.
That's just Rumors, though. And speaking of Rumors, here he is.
That's bars.
Playing with Cody right now, trying the pressure. Look at this. He has the pressure right now, and he is doing really well here.
Man.
But too far away.
Do you see the confidence and button choices here from Shen Khan, as well as with the movement, right? Can Rumors actually deter that? Again, Shen Khan is playing in a different way than most Zeku players play. Not as safe. He's walking up with confidence.
And it took a while for him to get to the young Zeku, I felt like. But it might have been just because Rumors had the offense going nice, confirm.
So good. So lovely to see. Any single confirm will be Shen Khan's game, by the way.
No, he gives up the corner with the cross-up, though.
Oh my, Sakamoto, please. Oh, that's
punishable.
punishable. Oh, come on. Yeah.
Okay,
all right.
okay,
so that's
okay.
even better, right? Shen Khan being able to get the big punish, dropped it a little bit, still found an opening, and retains 2 bars going into round 2. Optimizer.
You know, honestly, that's those kind of things that will let a player defeat their demon. When your demon drops a combo like that and then you get the win, you're like, well, maybe, it's preordained. It's my time.
Did you see how active that was? He tried to crime sway past the Graham? Excuse you.
That thing is... I'm surprised we don't see it like more used as an anti-air, because you just jump kick him in the face and then you eat the thing. And there's some juice there.
Look at the amount of damage that comes out. Ugh.
Here we go. Activation. Yep.
Oh, no,
he stood up.
What?
He stood up, ate that, and got stunned.
There's no downside to just blocking low the entire time.
Was he suspecting it? Is this one of those situations where they played each other a lot? He was expecting him to maybe do one hit into a tick throw or something, but, I mean, why?
I didn't see a counter hit, though. That's the thing. Had it been that option to possibly tech, I'd have to look at it again. I don't believe I saw a counter hit. That was just a blatant movement check.
And see, that's why, maybe his crouch just failed him. That's why we see so many players like NuckleDu and Punk test their down on their controller a bunch of times. They have to make sure they can crouch.
They got to spill the tea on that one, because they've been getting the bag with that for so long.
All right,
been working out.
Back to this normal footsies over here. the neutral.
Yeah, plus frames afterwards to pursue, but Rumors still not really breaking down the defense of Shen Khan, right? In comparison to the first game and first round, Rumors was in full control, but Shen Khan has put it together. We see a trigger on deck as well. We might see the activation soon, but instead, Rumors gets the final fight combo off the lights.
Yeah, what I like is, Cody's got good normals in neutral, but I like that Shen Khan has just played so patient. Got him low again. Gonna go into the critical art. This will almost definitely kill.
No, that's definitely killing. And what's smart about that is Shen Khan took a couple of small steps forward to check the movement from Rumors, because he knew full well that Rumors was going to be a little antsy. He was going to opt for the movement and get exposed.
And look at this, speaking of exposed, starting off right there.
Man, I feel like it's not even living rent-free anymore. I feel like he's the landlord and he owns the estate of Rumors. To be quite honest. He's got a full duplex and everything.
He's transitioned already. Rumors doesn't even own the space anymore.
Now he's paying Shen Khan to get out, to live in his own brain, right?
This is like some John Malkovich situation here. Shen Khan is just in there now.
He's just that. Oh, boy.
And look at that. And Rumors there with a mistake as well. Maybe a sign of nerves, frustration. Like, why can't I beat this guy? Oh, man. This is going to hurt.
He is just picking him apart. How many rounds straight is that? I believe it was 4. I believe that was 4 rounds straight. That's game, James.
There's
That's it.
there's no eviction process here at all because he is not. You can't be late on free rent. So he's there and
You
he's
can't be
sticking
late
around.
on
He's
free
already planted his flag. He has poured the cement. He's built the basement and everything. He is dominating that space.
Yeah. And again, we've mentioned it right at the top of the show. They only needed to win 1 to move on into
Yeah.
top 8. So we've already established 3, but we will continue on into the winner's side as we see here in the bracket. Panda and Total Sagat still need to play out their matches to solidify our first 4 contestants into top 8.
That's right. But of course, before we get into that point, we're going to take a quick break. However, also wanted to talk a little bit about the PlayStation and Top Joy.
That is correct. Yeah, as long as you guys have been looking at or watching and viewing all of these CPT events, there have been so many more events for Street Fighter V, including one from PlayStation with the Summer Winathon event going on all throughout August, or until August 31st, right? It's coming up pretty soon. It's already August. I can't believe it. Again, this is open for our North American competitors right now for the PlayStation tournament. I know a lot of you guys are tuning in from Australia, but I got to say, right now, for this Summer Winathon, anybody in North America right now has a chance to compete in more Street Fighter V action throughout the month. You just got to check it out at compete.playstation.com.
Yep, and again, once again, from Top Joy here, the Capcom authorized mobile game Street Fighter Duel is available for download right now in China, and a global version is also coming soon. And again, I mean, just look at this. I love the artwork in this game. It's so beautiful, and you can follow Ryu, Chun-Li, and others, and with the opportunity to explore the mysterious organization and experience the classic stories with all of your fighters and recall your memories of the original Street Fighter storyline. There's going to be counters, stuns, combos, supers, all sorts of your favorite fighting game mechanics involved, as well as some innovative multiplayer combos for a new battle experience challenging your strategy and control. A variety of PvP gameplays and tournaments with in-game rewards will definitely inspire everyone to grab a copy of this as soon as they can. The arcade legend is reborn on mobile. Download Street Fighter Duel now and join the journey with millions of players to find out who is the best fighter.
And we're doing that right now with the CPT as well, with the Australia region. We thank you guys for tuning in up until this point. We still have more of the winner's side after this short break, so don't go anywhere. Get some refreshments. We'll be right back with the Land Down Under.
Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up turn to feast. So fly, time to fly. Glory waits for those who fight. We unite, we are Street Fighters.
You shouldn't only admire my work, but also concentrate a little more on your lessons, Mana. You must be careful. This one. Soul satellite! Satellite! What's the meaning of fate? You shall know. It's your destiny. Soul powers nature. Fate or a foe! You should try to learn to use your power a little better.
Let's go! After it! Fear my strength! Have a taste of this! Don't take this personal! I'll show no mercy! This is for my fellow hunters!
As we get closer and closer to our top 8, we experience the full force of the Australian region here for the Capcom Pro Tour 2021. Vicious back at it again with James Chen to see who has what it takes to move on for tomorrow. I see what you're doing.
I don't know what you're talking about
Neither
at all,
am I.
dude. I don't
Neither
know
do
what
I.
you're talking about at all.
It's going to be fine. Let's take a look at the bracket and what we have going on for the winner's side with Panda and Total Sagat. Now, I am a fan of both of these players, right? Panda being the unsung hero for the Australian region for reasons unbeknownst to us from not too long ago from the IWO. But Total Sagat also I am a fan of. He's the main proprietor of the club of, the older folks could still play this game.
Right, and that's what I love. One of the things that he says, I've been spamming Tigers since 1992. And in fact, he definitely is meaning champion edition because you couldn't play Sagat in the original game, right?
Yeah.
He was not there. So
man, that is...
And he says, I'm going to spam some more today. Prepare my throne. The king is coming is what he says here, dude.
I just want to see some bald representation, to be honest with you. I'm cool with Sagat. But Panda, I will say, being the Akuma player for the Australian region, he has been giving a lot of folks this work. He's been giving a lot of folks a lot of these problems. And I haven't seen Total Sagat as often, actually. We saw his breakout performance in one of the CPTs last year, but it's still been a main threat as we see him in the winner's side. So I'm very excited to see how much he's leveled up until this point. In fact, I do want to see what their quotes are going to be into their matches for top 16.
Let's see. Wow, look at this. Panda, I feel as though this matchup will be a bit more difficult due to unfamiliarity and match conditions.
True.
Akuma should still win, but it will be a lackluster neutral. I'm totally reading this slow on purpose. Into a desperate offense to secure a win. A few stray hits on an overconfident Akuma will quickly kill himself against a ready and prepared Sagat. As long as I remain calm, the only person that can beat me is myself.
Moving on to Total Sagat, let's see what he had to say for his quote into top 16. This one's going to be a quick one. Panda has some of the best reads and reactions in Oz. I like that. But I feel Sagat can handle Akuma, so I'm not concerned about the character. Just have to play smart. I'll be trying to rip some DPs through those fireballs to get the crowd hype and take the W. I'm looking forward to it. James and I have been talking about this matchup, or at least I have, in my mind, have fabricated a full-on conversation with James Chen for this particular matchup.
And the best part about it is you can do a pretty good imitation of me.
I could. See, you can't just ask me to do it, James. That's the thing. I'll probably save it for top 8, right?
All right.
Exactly what we're going to get into.
Right.
But Panda versus Total Sagat. Akuma, sorry, yeah, I was going to say Akuma versus Sagat. A little redundant because it is Total Sagat. But let's talk about the matchup a little bit. I think Sagat does a pretty darn good job within neutral based off of the fact that he can change up the timing of his Tiger shots, change the different angles, right? You're getting the high Tiger shot, forcing the crouch, or the low Tiger shot. And I think his normals are pretty solid in keeping away Akuma, and also equipped with a DP. He is a pretty solid contender for this match. Did that scare you?
Yeah, the Tiger growl actually caught me off guard. I was like,
I saw you freak out a little bit. I'm like,
I was like, what the? Oh, that's right. The tiger. Of course. All right, here we go. So we're going to have the purr of the tiger coming in. So we're going to have a purr of a motorcycle coming in on the intros as well.
Oh, man. Do you see that? Yeah, the charged up V-skill. Getting an uppercut again, it sets you up for another V-skill. Right now, you're in this kind of weird vortex. Oh, yes! This man delivers!
That is some Season 1 Xiaohai. Remember when his Cammy used to DP through those projectiles? We're seeing it here. Oh, man, I'm almost sad we didn't see it again. But
change his name to Total Package, brother. This guy has it all.
Look at this. This is some domination right now. Total Sagat taking that first game with the way that you want to do with Sagat. And Sagat is one of those characters who's gotten really...
Who says that old folks don't have reactions? This man has been going ham every single time he sees a fireball.
I don't have any reaction.
I forgot.
I don't have any reaction.
James, I just realized my mistake.
Why you gotta put me on
I didn't mean it. I promise. I didn't mean it.
All right, here we go. Nice. And he's gonna get the uppercut on the neutral jump. Beautiful job. Oh God, he made it over that. Oh, okay. Frame trapping with the second hit because he had the V trigger behind it. Panda now coming in, doing some damage. Needs one good. Oh, that's how you beat the shimmy. That's how you beat the shimmy. You know they walk back, so you crouching medium kick on your wake up to hit it. That is the old man smarts right there. That is how you do it.
I was going to say, that is about as old school as it gets right there. That tactic alone shows how much of a veteran he truly is. Total Sagat making the right read and finding that full-on counter to the throw bait tactic, right? No matter how far you're going to move back to block or get something to whiff, if that normal comes out right out the gate, you're kind of screwed. You're going to eat some damage.
Right.
If you stand when you're trying to block a low, you're going to have a bad time.
All right, so Total Sagat taking first game pretty well. I mean, so again, Panda had that good sequence right there. He had the V-trigger activation, one good hit in there. But the fact that Total Sagat woke up with that crouching medium to stop the shimmy, that's one of those things that if you're Panda, you're just like, guys, this guy just in my head, like everywhere, you know? Got to think about that a little bit. And
he's thinking about it a lot.
Yeah,
he actually got forced into the lobby. He might, I don't know if he's going to reconsider. No, I mean, Trigger, probably not. Character, also highly unlikely. I haven't seen Panda whip out any sort of characters throughout his CPT career.
Maybe just thinking about it.
That might just be me.
No, stay with Akuma.
Same V set.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a little shook, right? He never got past phase 1 of the matchup, especially in round 1. You saw the dominating force of Total Sagat being able to throw out those fireballs and just have that kind of presence with the normals and force the errors of jumping in. But that's what I like to see. Panda now reacting to the fireballs within space to get a jump in.
All right, you can see the pressure. I love backing off with the EX Fireball. Try to parry right there. Not going to get it. Oh, the crush. Oh, I think he missed the carry cancel. Like
Carry canceled into Tiger Knee, possibly.
Yeah, because I think he was trying to do forward heavy kick and accidentally did crouching heavy kick or something, but that's a weird execution error.
And a huge difference. Oh! That was very smart from Panda. Total Sagat, I feel like could have been able to, I don't know, that was a really sharp angle.
I just saw every Sagat player out there go, when they saw that DP whip like that.
But he did get a counter hit on the forward movement off of the forward movement.
Oh, no, that's not fast enough, man. Tiger shot. Oh, okay, I like the air fireball there, making it a little bit harder. Although if he DP'd and trade, oh gosh, look at
I'm going to say
that.
forward light kick, excuse me. But yeah, no, absolutely. If that were trade, it would have been bad news.
Okay,
minus.
block, but minus, yeah. Now, here we go, activation, tries to get the frame trap. Look at this patience from Total Sagat, but had enough of blocking, is going to be reversal out of there, which means probably no trigger for him this round. Oh, he wakes up with buttons again! He wakes up with buttons again, and this time it wasn't even a read on the shimmy, it was just a read on a delayed meaty or something. He just said, you know what, I don't believe you're getting your meaty timing. I'm waking up with buttons, sorry.
He gave him the bison cord. I believe you didn't see that, did you? Didn't see it at all coming. No anticipation for the wake up normal from Total Sagat. Actually very, very good for the veteran.
Shout outs to West Studio and his Sagat.
Oh,
goodness,
get
I'm
out of
not
there.
going under this time. Oh, yeah, invincible the whole way through. Tried to DP there. You know he tried to challenge that.
Yep, as you should. Red
right.
Fireball, view reversal, trying to make some space for himself. Panda's trying to retain this pressure and momentum in the corner. Yeah, I like that. V-shift, the V-break.
Keeps the pressure going in the corner. Sagat, Total Sagat right now, got to find a way out of this corner. And actually, he's done it pretty well at this point. But pushed right back in. Oh, no, here we go. Yep, mid-screen now.
Oh, just barely mistimed it. That would have caught Panda, actually. Or should be Panda. Oh, that's going to be... Oh, not
He went for
within
a
range.
throw. Interesting.
Not even trying to kill. I mean, the throw would have killed, but, you know, you should have secured it. And here comes Total Sagat.
Oh, here we go. Activation. Yep, off the high Tiger. Got the hit.
Delay.
Okay.
Back there going to be more than enough. Don't get caught.
I was about to say, if Total Sagat has another crazy read on his wake up, then he's living rent-free in Panda's head.
If he showed off with the throw invulnerable uppercut on reversal, I would have thrown my headset. Yeah. Well, I would have chugged this Red Bull. I would have thrown my headset. I would have called it a day.
That would have been the third ridiculous read on his wake up. But not going to have it, and actually now tied 1-1. So this is good for Panda because, again, that first game I felt like was all Total Sagat. And to have him come back like this, it's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, all the way tied down. Excuse me, going into game number 3. And the Tiger shots are ripping from Total Sagat. Even within this range, uppercut, you know he was pumping away since yesterday. You see Panda closing the gap with some subtle movement check, right? Or some subtle movement with the dash, but here it comes. Trigger.
That was a really late throw as well. Tried to fake the meaty. Oh, I can do it too.
Oh, but it doesn't matter if you neutral jump meets. Total Sagat now in full control. Actually,
I felt like he could have got through. Yeah. I felt like he could have got a combo. Oh, look at that. Weird timing on that. Gets him with the towards heavy punch. Here's a big combo into the corner. No, he tried the Tiger uppercut again.
Absolutely he did.
He went for it. Didn't get it that time.
And we're seeing a little bit of vulnerability coming from Total Sagat. Panda has already made the right read in getting a couple of throw baits and neutral jumping against Total Sagat. But to be quite fair, Total Sagat was pumping away for that Tiger uppercut. So we'll see if that strategy still plays a big part in the corner pressure game coming from Panda. Big jump in.
Yeah, and again, from the start of this, it looked like it was Total Sagat, but now Panda, he's gonna do the Tokido. No, not like this. He tried to do the Tokido. Oh, not like this. Not like this, okay.
Whoo, Panda making a solid statement against Total Sagat 2 rounds straight this time. Tried to finish it off with the taunt and possibly into EX uppercut.
Whew.
Or just uppercut, right?
That would have been one for the ages if that went awry there. But
I see what you did with the ages when it comes to Total Sagat. But either way, man, that was a very valiant effort. To be quite honest with you, he was in complete control into game one. Panda making the right adjustments, taking it back into the lobby to reassess what had happened, and taking a lot less free damage in the entirety of Game 2 and Game 3.
Yeah, so there you go. Nicely done for Panda advancing forward. Of course, all those players are not out of the tournament that we have seen here lose these first few matches. Somniac, ROF, Rumors, and Total Sagat will all be playing in the next round of the losers bracket coming up. But of course, we've got the first round of the losers brackets to go. There you see in round 2, all those players just waiting there, chilling there. But we've got to find out who they're going to be going up against. And the first match on the loser side is going to be Bikre going up against Space Ghost.
Now, I don't know the geography of West Australia as well as Ultra David does, but Bikre hailing from West Australia and Space Ghost coming in from New South Wales. It would have been great if it was Space Ghost coast to coast, but I don't know if that's going to be the case.
Right.
We're instead going to get Fong versus Guile. Now, technically, you could say that's a coast-to-coast matchup.
Fong versus Guile.
In terms of like character archetypes,
yeah,
I was really reaching for that one.
Maybe they could be on the opposite side of the screens, throwing projectiles at
Maybe.
coast to coast.
Maybe.
That's kind of where you were going.
A little bit. You give me a little bit too much credit there, James. Let's take it back to the players as they get ready into their top 16 and what they said going into it. Bikre, a name that I haven't seen too much, right? Just an old school, casual Peruvian Aussie player wanting to have some fun. This is possibly one of my worst matchups in the game, so let's do our best. And that's exactly what we love about the format here in the CPT. Anybody can make it into the top 16, including his opponent, Space Ghost, who has done just that on numerous occasions in previous CPTs. Let's take a look at what he had to say as well.
The might of the U.S. Air Force gonna make this assassin choke on his own toxicity.
That's aggressive.
That is very good. That is definitely some Space Ghost coast to coast trash talking right there.
Yeah. Unnecessary roughness from Space Ghost. But that's the kind of confidence I do like to see coming into this loser's side, right? Because it's do or die time. And it's going to be 2 out of 3. Way less chances than our previous matches, right? Going into our top 16 and having to play a lot more.
Am I the only one that remembers that Space Ghost Coast to Coast was the nickname of Jason Williams from the NBA? I always loved that nickname. So
I'm pretty sure someone's going to be like, my man, James. For sure.
Was it Jason Williams or is that his name? I think it was. Okay. I may have gotten it wrong. I may have gotten the name wrong, but that's what I
forget
always think of.
you're a big NBA head as well.
Used to be.
Nah, I don't believe you. Bikre versus Space Ghost. Fong versus Guile. This is the matchup that a lot of people crucify us for when it comes to Fong knowledge, right? But I'll tell you what, Bikre said it. This is going to be one of the matchups that is extremely difficult for him, and we can obviously see why, right? The amount of presence that Guile has, not just with his normals, but just Sonic Boom alone, right? That's going to be the determining factor of how Bikre is going to get himself set up before Guile gets to pursue offense.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing, too. Because, I mean, Fong, honestly, is kind of an offensive character himself. He wants to get in there and start getting all of his crazy cross-up mix-ups as well.
Can be, yeah.
Guile, he does such a good job of preventing Fong from doing that. And again, remember, if you're going to flash kick, it doesn't matter what side you end up on. Down to up is going to be down to up. And so when you have these left-right mix-ups, Guile, if he has the meter for the flash kick, kind of turns it into
it's a mix-up for the Fong player.
Right,
But that's not going to be the case. We see Dalsim on the screen instead.
Okay.
We see the Guile pick, but instead, it's going to be Dalsim.
Well, look, Dalsim, obviously, extremely strong character. Mr. Crimson just taking the most recent CPT with this character. Even longtime Dalsim player Arturo calling Dalsim a cheap character now.
And this is a matchup that's way more manageable in comparison to Fong, right? Bikre making the right choices, playing to win.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you got to do. This is CPT, man. If you're not playing to win, I don't know what you're playing for.
Again, you see some of the attitudes, right? We talked about this before. Rob TV has mentioned this before also. There's a difference between playing to win and playing not to lose, right? So we're kind of seeing that from Bikre already. There comes the activation here from Space Ghost. Gets a back throw instead. Does get a counter hit, but really nothing of it at that distance. And now in hot pursuit, no! There's a lot of free damage coming in against Bigray.
Uh-oh. Oh, no! That was such a big... that was going to be for the round. Instead, an execution error from Bigray. Oh, but he's still in there. And now Chip is a threat. Chip is a problem. And I think that's what he was... Oh, no. He actually spent one of the meters on the EX Fireball.
From both, yeah. Space Ghost completely covering that ground against the mix-up of the EX Yoga Fireball. Or EX Yoga Fire, I should say. Going up against that teleport afterwards. So smart for Space Ghost to make that call and stop Bigray from teleporting in for free. That was a great punish, great recognition from Space Ghost in the first round. Anti-air is there from Bigray, unfazed by the movement set by Space Ghost. Still paying attention to the skies, as he should, while he's concerned with neutral.
Oh, nice flash kick. Catches the drill. Now trying to back off and get into a defensive spot again. No whiff punish on that far heavy punch.
Hovering over it, but still not finding a way. Instead, Space Ghost goes to him. No anti-air in sight, but still now, yeah, Bigray gets started. He's cooking him up.
Gonna stay. Oh, God, he's always ready for that teleport. He's been able to stop it almost every single time. But you see that he stops it with a crouching light punch. That means Bigray might be better off doing a higher air teleport.
Yeah, it's just that he was already committed to getting the mix-up with the Yoga Fire, right? But Space Ghost, yeah, that would have been more than enough.
Yeah. And again, do you see that patience? As soon as Bigray started floating up there, Space Ghost just crouched there. He's like, you know what? I know if I flash kick and you teleport, you're going to punish me for that. And so he just waited. And sure enough, the teleport happened. And then Dalsim is a sitting duck in the sky. And that was it right there.
Yeah, taking to the skies just in general against Guile has just been so scary over the years. And now you're doing it with a character who wants to be mid-air as much as possible to get those kind of mix-ups going. But we're going to get a mix-up, in fact, with our character selection, possibly from Bigray, right? We have gone back to the
bear his fung?
Maybe. Maybe. I like that. To bear his fung, indeed. We'll see what happens again. Bigray has listed that he is indeed a fung main. But... we didn't see it yet.
I mean, he said this is one of his worst matchups, and he really doesn't like to play it. So saw him go to the Dalsim. But, you know, at this point in time, it almost kind of feels like, you know what, I got this far in the tournament with my character. You know, maybe I want to go out with this character. That's how often, a lot of times I feel when I have these counter pick questions here. I like to try, you know, if I'm in this situation, back to the wall, let's do it with the character that got me here.
Yes. Now that I'm actually curious, did he actually use Fong the entire way through of his top six or his tournament run? Who knows? But you do present.
There it is.
Yeah, you do bring up a very, very valid point though. If you are going to be going out, go out swinging.
Yeah, exactly. Do it with your main guy.
Do you see the character path selection? Luke has been filled out. Let's go.
Let's go. Sorry.
That's all good. It's all good. I mean, I'm excited for he's going with V-Skill too, the parry. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Really trying to throw in a monkey wrench perhaps into the matchup. Right. And you know he's just gauging all the situations that Space Ghost is hitting buttons that'll set up the parry for him.
Plus range afterwards, Space Ghost he doesn't want to play that kind of game, right? Where Fung is able to swing with his normals and get this much chip damage. But I will say, Bigray has done a fantastic job of keeping a close quarter up until this point.
Dang.
He ate like, what, 3 booms in a row? I take it all back.
Yeah. And again, you see how this match is being played out. What's happening? Bigray is trying to be as aggressive as possible and stay in his face. This is what I mean. A lot of people still call Fang a zoning character, and that's only certain matchups. Most of the time, he wants to be in your face and mixing you up. But it's just not working out against Guile right now.
Right.
Guile is so good at keeping you out. And especially that floaty jump that Fang has, it's going to be hard to make it over a Sonic Boom with a jump make Guile actually have to respect the jump attack.
Oh, the punish? Yes, sir.
And I like the punish with the flash kick, too.
Just within range as well.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, multiple hits on the side of the real Benda.
But you see
and
that
initial Q as well.
Even with that crazy read like that, Fang's still not doing a ton of damage. But the poison right now has added up a lot. He has gotten a lot of damage from that poison.
Oh, don't jump on this man!
Oh, and
you thought you were clear for takeoff? We saw him seal his fate.
As soon as he took to the skies, I'm like, yo, Space Ghost has been sitting there since Street Fighter 2, I feel like. He's just been sitting there the entire time waiting for this moment. It's like, this is it.
I mean,
Here it is.
the only way he could have won is by canceling his jump into the flight and trying to get the flash kick to hit in the non-cancelable frame.
That is a possibility.
Right.
That is a huge possibility. You're right.
Because then he would get clipped by the flash kick. It wouldn't have been cancelable into the super, and at least he would have
Another
lived.
chance at life, yeah.
Right, exactly. I think that was the only thing that he could have done, but it was too late. The flash kick into the super there. Nice job by Space Ghost, who's going to move on. Unfortunately, that means B-Cray is out of the tournament. But again, here
Very
in
valiant
top
effort,
16, yeah, with Feng as well, representing the Feng squad. Well done to B-Cray.
And yeah, we see Space Ghost getting himself ready to face off against Total Sagat into round 2, but we still got plenty more losers round matches to go. It's going to be Goldie next door versus BK Sama coming up next, and that's going to be pretty exciting to see, as I haven't seen Goldie next door a lot.
And,
right.
and of course, BK Sama, you were saying, was dominating everybody.
Fresh off
was it the IOC you said?
IWO.
Oh, IWO, I'm sorry, yeah. Doing all the damage over there with the Urian, right? So,
full Unga, by the way. Making all the right reads, making all the right button checks or button decisions, and finding as many headbutts as possible. This guy was a savage.
Yeah, but he is starting in the loser side of the bracket right now. So
that's true.
Gonna have to do a lot of work to get to the top, to at least to the grand finals, right? This is, of course, the long route. In case you guys aren't aware, the winner side always has to play half the rounds, half the matches as the loser side, and that's just one of those minefields. Although sometimes when you play on the loser side, because of those more matches, you feel more warm and practiced and ready to go. So we'll see if that works.
Yeah, there's a lot of mental factors that do tie into some of the performance of the players, especially in certain positions, right? Especially, or I should stop saying especially, in the loser side, right? BK Sama, I feel like, has had it all together as a professional Street Fighter V player. I'm more concerned with seeing how Goldie next door is going to perform, because I haven't seen too much on this player, because we're literally going into this blind, essentially, into the top 16, right? So this is a name I'm not too familiar with, but I'm even more excited to see how this stacks up, because Akuma versus Urian, that's going to be kind of tough.
Yeah, so I'm especially eager to hear Goldie next door.
Come on, man. Come on now. Shout out to Rob TV for that one.
Let's see his quote, and I'm especially eager to see this quote here.
Boo, James.
BK is a great player, one of our best, and I'm sure he's well versed in this matchup. I'll do my best.
James Chenson. How do you feel BK Sama is preparing himself for this top 16? Let's take a look.
Go, Jeremy.
Very excited to see how I fare when this early pressure, being in the loser bracket so early. I'm like, wait a minute, did I read that correctly?
These players are tripping us up here, you know.
These guys are, man.
You know, I thought, Goldie was talking about player one, but... Oh, okay.
We'll see what happens. And again, these guys obviously well versed against each other, as they've shown us in their opening quotes. But I haven't seen too much Goldie next door. That's the biggest thing I want to see. How does he fare up against somebody he's been playing with already that is, I feel like, under the radar for some of us? And that's my fault. I will say that. But at the same time, it's like, if he gets to go over somebody like BK Sama, best believe he's on the radar even more so for the Australian community.
All right, well, here we go. BK Sama with the start here, getting in with the knees. And whoa. Oh, I guess out of range, but he's still going to get the stun here. Charging up the V skill just for future uses here. Yeah, doesn't even use it.
Oh, you are a nasty, nasty man.
See, that
Who taught you that? Did you make that? I got to know.
That almost looked like a teleport. Like, you can see those mix-ups, and when they happen, you're like, okay, but I swear it looked like Urian just teleported to the other side that time.
This guy's spacing is immaculate, too. He hit him on the tippy toes of the boots.
Yeah, a nice fireball for the knockdown on the whiff punish for Goldie, but slowly being walked back into the corner. So you see the forward dash from him to try to prevent losing that real estate. Gil, kind of the center of the stage over there. So you have it. Oh, I think the jump maybe kick would hit.
Oh, boy.
Not sure what that Tatsu was about.
It was a mishap, that's for sure. Goldie having to spin the V-break to alleviate himself from the pressure, but still runs into an anti-air.
Yeah, and back into the corner. Here you go. Goldie has not been able to gain any real estate, but this will do it. Didn't get the side switch here. Goes for the throw.
And what a read from BK Sama to just up, back, away from danger, completely nullifying himself from the threat of back throw.
What? And then just a crouching medium punch after getting hit by a fireball and then just swung for the fences. And again, notice that we never got to see what was on the left side of Gil. Like that entire fight, it was always in that half of the stage. Basically, Goldie next door never got to push BK Sama at all.
And that's just a commanding performance from BK Sama, being able to understand the full ranges of his opponent, as well as his own character, getting himself some of these sequences with that crouch medium punch. A lot of mileage coming from that button alone in that game one.
Ooh, okay. Here we go, the whiff punish, and finally breaking in towards the left side of the stage, meaning Goldie gaining some of that real estate. And again, the corner is such an important position in this game.
Yeah, but will he manage to get there before BK Sama strikes a deal again with that heavy punch? But man, what a call out. Knee drop against the fireball?
Yeah, one of the things, the reason why I've been talking about this screen positioning so much is because you can see it. A lot of the real estate that BK Sama is getting is literally just walking Goldie back. Goldie is kind of walking back a lot and giving up that space.
Oh, another mishap from Goldie. Still going through with the full motion after a block normal. Just raw Aegis. I like the intimidation factor.
No.
He still bounces into it. Yo, clip that. Clip that, BK Sama. Walking out with his chest, that was godlike.
And that's the thing. So even though BK Sama was down in life, I didn't think he was down in the round at all because of the positioning and the way that he was pushing Goldie back all the time. And then as soon as he got the corner, that's what won him the game, was that corner position.
Man, and BK Sama freely gets himself out of being countered in that corner position just with a cross-up, right? BK Sama is now making it work so well for him. Here comes Goldie.
Delay. Tries to go for a shimmy there. He showed throw last time. BK Sama jumped away. This time BK Sama just did nothing, expecting Goldie not to go for the throw.
And it's still so dangerous, right? Goldie, although having critical art, I feel like a full sequence won't net him the victory. Maybe further out, he still has, I think now he's within kill range for the critical art.
But the problem is the V-trigger. That V-trigger, the Aegis Reflector, is so scary. Watch your legs. You don't want to get that crouching medium kick. There we go.
Oh, boy.
All right, the mix up the throw.
He's dead. He's actually dead.
No. He didn't have the super. He didn't have the super for the... No. What's going to happen here? Oh, okay. It worked.
I felt like he was still within range to get a kill. He did have bar.
He didn't have enough for the super, and at that range, crouching light kick was the only juggle he could get off of the mirror. That was the problem right there.
I feel like he could have done more. That's just me.
Oh, the online tactic. I get hit by that.
You're dead.
I get hit by that 100% of the time.
There's going to be a reset coming?
No,
I lied to. He had another bar. I totally forgot. Yo, BK Sama, I see you. You don't need the reflector at all. Get it out of here. Playing without trigger. Real Yuri in main.
Oh, man. Whew. And unfortunately, that does mean the end of Goldie Next Door's CPT run. But again, just like we said with Bikre, well played by Goldie Next Door. Got to play on stream for the Capcom Pro Tour. Must be pretty exciting as well. But you see BK Sama setting himself for a match versus the last player who won the Australia region for CPT, and that is Rumors.
For the qualifier, yes, indeed. We've seen the kind of plays that Rumors can make, but BK Sama has been on a hot streak. We'll see how that goes down to round 2, but we still have plenty, actually just 2 more down below as we see a Wild Llama get ready to face off against Darius, as well as ZG getting ready to face off against Rups, but that's not going to be happening yet, right? We do have to take a quick break, but again, there's been so many events going on with Street Fighter V. In fact, James has plenty more plenty more info to tell you about what's coming up
Yeah.
next. Excuse me.
This is obviously for the North America fans here. So for those of you watching from Australia, unfortunately, won't be able to take part in this. But compete.playstation.com for the North American fans. Head over to compete.playstation.com to learn more about the PlayStation Tournament Summer Win-a-thon event going on. I feel like I need to break out the car commercial voice for that. The PlayStation Tournament Summer Win-a-thon event going on until August 31st. Again, you can learn all about it and more at compete.playstation.com.
And again, you can find plenty of those Street Fighter V events going on throughout the entirety of August. But if you haven't had enough Street Fighter in your life, well, guess what? We do have an authorized mobile game coming to you very, very soon with Top Joy. The Capcom authorized mobile game Street Fighter Duel is now available for download in China, and a global version is also coming soon. Follow Ryu, Chun-Li, and others to explore the mysterious organization and experience the classic stories with all of your fighters. And recall your memories of the original Street Fighter counter, stun, combo, super, an impressive array of fighting elements, and the innovative multiplayer combos offer you a new battle experience, challenging your strategy and control. A variety of PvP gameplays and tournaments with in-game rewards that will definitely inspire you to fight. I know definitely I will, for sure. The Arcade Legend is reborn on mobile. Download Street Fighter Duel now and join the journey with millions of players to find out who is the best fighter. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to get sucked into this game.
You were the one who got me sucked into Teppen, okay?
True.
We were in
Well, you better
Alaska.
get ready for some Street Fighter Duel, man.
And you made me pull cards, and you were like hype about the cards I pull, and now look, I play Teppen every night now
Guilty as
because of
charged.
you, man.
Well, you're welcome. We're going to be playing that. We're going to be playing this definitely in the meantime. But we are giving ourselves up for more Street Fighter V action. Don't go anywhere. We'll continue with more of the Australian region.
Time to fight, time to fight. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand after defeat. So fight, time to fight. Glory waits for those who fight. We unite, we are Street Fighters. Line it up. What a power to the earth. See what I'm really made of.
Uh-oh. Pleased to meet you.
The honor was mine.
I'll settle this.
I'm shaking here.
Bow down before my psycho power.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Capcom Pro Tour. I keep wanting to come back in here and do a really bad Australian accent, but I can't disrespect him that way because it's gonna be awful. People are telling me to do it in my ear. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. All right, welcome back to the Australia Top 16. We are whittling our way through the Top 16 right now, continuing on the loser side of the bracket. And
Hold it in, James.
Hold it in. Coming up next is a Wild Llama and Darius. Dare
I say it's Darius?
Okay. I like that. I like that.
It might be wrong. It might be right. Who knows? But I'll tell you what. He is going up against a Wild Llama. And then we see down below ZG versus Rups. That's going to be pretty exciting as well. We've seen a lot of Rups before, but now it leaves a Wild Llama, Darius, and ZG. And I'm kind of curious to see like how they perform overall, because those for sure are names that we don't get to see too often.
Llamas are Peruvian, right? I mean, shouldn't it be like a wild dingo or a wild emu or something? Or what?
Possibly.
You
tell me.
I'm just saying.
I'm blank faced because it's like you're giving me the National Geographic lesson. You're going full Steve Irwin on me.
I'm pretty sure llama. I don't know. Are there llamas in Australia? I don't
R.I.P.
know.
to the legend, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I mean, you tell me, man. You tell me. A
wild llama coming in here. Yeah, I'm a llama again. Wait a minute. Okay, so it's going to be a wild llama going up against Darius.
Yeah, that's correct.
Coming up, Gil versus Manat.
Yes, this is the matchup we were actually looking forward to in this top 16 because these are characters, actually matches we rarely get to see. Gil versus Manat.
I'm almost sad they have to play each other, because that means it's guaranteed that one of them has to go out of the tournament. I would love to see some more Gil and Manat, but unfortunately one of them is going to go down. Wild Llama actually, kind of called himself like the leader of the Gil army, so I think he's going to take a lot of pride.
That's a lot of self-proclamation there, I feel like.
Exactly. So he's definitely going to have a lot of pride in this Gil performance. So I'm excited to see how this matchup goes. Let's see what the players have to say about this matchup coming up. A Wild Llama. Actually, Darius is first here. Glad to see 5 Perth players representing top 16. Do we know if Perth is West Coast or East Coast?
That I don't know. I did get to look at it, and I totally forgot.
Okay. Well, I will be facing Llama, who just eliminated my Perth mate, Kacheng King. Going to take it one game at a time. I haven't been playing, probably just 5 times in the last 3 months.
It's a very West Coast thing to say. It is actually indeed in the West Coast. I was thinking about it. I'm like, now that's just solidified it right there. That is a West Coast thing to say. I see you, Darius. I see what you're doing. Let's see what a Wild Llama had to say instead.
Oh, man.
I don't know if Darius plays these days, so I'm going in parries blazing. I love it. I love it. See, these guys very much so familiar with each other. As to how many times I've seen them in the CPT, not too often. So it's going to be a Wild Llama versus Darius. I'm pretty excited about it because these guys are enthusiastic about it. You know, Darius hasn't been playing for too long, but you know, that speaks a pretty positive message for him to be back into the CPT with a character like Minot into a top 16. This man's been doing work. That's a pretty big deal.
A lot of talent there to get back into this position. Let's see if he can continue the run.
We talk about it all the time. Like, now is a great time to jump back into Street Fighter V. Or even if you're new and you're still watching this, or you're watching this for the first time, in general, you're seeing these Capcom Pro Tour events. It's so great right now.
And the content is still coming. In a week and a half, we have
on the 16th, we got 2 characters, baby. We have 2 characters on the screen right now. Gil versus Minot. Already putting on the pressure is a Wild Llama.
Yeah, and Wild Llama already with the corner position, all the damage, but Darius now going to try to work his way out of there. Here we go. Good start here.
Oh. And I'm liking this pressure so far. Or it's not pressure, I should say, but the presence of mind to stay that far away with Minot. Ooh, let's go.
Here we go. Going in there, getting some. Oh, but had the anti-air ready to go. And here we go. Activate all the way to the corner here. Yeah.
Oh,
you're always ready for your anti-air on the whip throw. Yeah, that's safe.
Oh, boy. You better hit with that flame javelin because here comes an orb.
No! What was Darius doing? Well, it was a trade, it looked like.
Yeah, he pressed the button to release one of the orbs rather than negative edge it, right? That's a tactic used more often by someone like Sakunoko, where they're already holding the button down, and it still registers. Although you don't see the normal, the orb will still fly out.
Right, they're all controlled by negative edge. Ah! Here we go. Get the retribution. Oh, and again, those knees. Save on block, -2, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. Oh, the armor getting through there.
But no punish from the side of Darius, stuck in this corner with Minot. Or, I was going to say, slightly orbless, but it was still within range.
Okay, blocks there. God, on the background, you can't even see the orbs on the floor, on the 2 low orbs. Got a little bit of a secret advantage here. Can't see the low orbs. Yeah, see? Just like came from nowhere.
I had to look really hard to see when it was going to leave, to be quite honest with you.
And he's got the air orbs. Hasn't had a chance to activate them.
Oh, and a back throw more than enough. Wild Llama still applying that intimidation factor, just walking back. And you're thinking to yourself, all right, I'm going to get baited, but he was still within range of the throw.
Yeah. So there you go. Leader, he says, leader of the Gil army here. Well, he's definitely representing, taking game at number 1 against Darius. And so let's see if he can take number 2, send Darius out of the tournament, and continue forth being the leader of the said Gil army.
But how big is that army really?
It's a lot of people are playing Gil. There's so many Gil players.
I was literally just talking to Yipes on the phone earlier in the day about him going from Kage into Gil. He's like, I know all about the struggle bus. I'm still playing this character.
Oh man. Yipes never calls me.
I called him.
Oh, okay.
I reached out to him.
Okay.
Don't you dare say I never call you. We're here right now.
It's true. It's true. We're tied to the hip this weekend, dude.
Yeah,
We're tied
that's
to
actually true. We have so many things to go through, not only just with like CPT, right? We have so much Street Fighter to go through this entire weekend, and I'm really excited about it, as you should be, with, you know, everything that's been going on, right? I mean,
yeah, of course.
Australia's throwing down for the CPT, trying to get into Capcom Cup. We have Evo not too long from now, but Gil versus Minot is still going to be the choice. And costume change.
Going with the Felicia costume. You know, I mean, honestly, I still think that they should have turned Nakali into the Felicia. Because she clawing and everything, and V-Skill 2 was just a hairball. Have you seen cat hairballs?
Gil versus Minot is still going to be the choice here. Darius sticking with his guns. No, I have not. If it's the size of the ball that Minot's throwing around, the orb, I don't want anything to do with it. A Wild Llama still good. No punish.
Oof. And then just coming right in there with the EX trade. And I love that. Just air to air to keep her from keep Darius from getting out of the corner.
Oh. Back-to-back V reversals finding the mark against the Orb recall, but here comes Llama. Does get a setup going. No, a little bit too early.
Yeah. And again, just coming right in there with the lariat. The fearless lariats from Wild Llama.
Oh,
again?
Just going in with a raw lariat. Most of the time it works out, and especially for the kill. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Oh,
that could have been huge.
Okay. Oh, watch out. Yeah, those orbs connecting, but he wasn't able to keep the combo going. He's got a lot of meter. One good hit could be a super right now. Chip might be coming into play at this point.
Oh, it might actually, now that he's spent with B reversal back-to-back times.
Oh,
I was going to say, so that could have been his downfall, right? Llama has been swinging away at the right ranges with the lariat, but any sort of misstep, or if Darius walked and blocked, he would have died. He would have straight up died.
But no fear right now from Wild Llama. He is coming in here. I mean, Unga Down Under, I mean, might be named after him, right? I mean, he is just coming in.
Possibly. Oh, mistiming the reflex completely.
Yeah, much to his detriment into the corner, but still with a life lead, but trapped in the corner now. Tried to go for the overhead.
Oh boy, the Flame Javelins keeping Darius honest, but now the Orb is trying to at least deter this offense from Wild Llama, which it hasn't, to be quite honest.
Okay.
Air, so close.
In time, and now, oh, it's really late Orb release.
That was a great frame trap. Oh, you better convert! Man, I will say, I'm glad that Darius managed to get the round, but there's been so many openings that Darius has dropped.
Yeah, there's been a lot of drops, unfortunately, but... Oh, the parry! Let's go!
He's tried that at least 4 times in his set, and it's the first time he succeeded.
Hey, you know what? As long as you look good and the one time you succeed, that's all that matters.
True. I'm a fan of that.
All right.
Darius is the old recall now. There we go.
Yeah, and he's got the corner position now off of that back throw. Boy, these two are just swinging. This has been a fast and furious match here. Oh, goes under. Yep, had the orb release. He's going to keep the combo going. He's got it. Drops it right there.
I was really waiting for Darius to go through with the full combo into Critical Art, but it gives Wild Llama another chance. In fact, that Flame Javelin and the ice on top of it is slowly chipping away at Darius. But is Critical Art going to be a problem?
Oh,
no,
just a dash
throw instead.
Yeah, and a Wild Llama is going to advance forward and take it over Darius. So Darius and the Manat that we have in the top 16 is going out of the tournament.
Man, we rarely get to see that match. And again, as you prefaced it with, it sucks that it had to be.
Yeah,
it sucks that it went down that way. Gil versus Manat, that was a treat, but we are gonna have to move on from there. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, wait, I wrote down AWL for a Wild Llama because it's easy to see. But ZG is coming up against Rups. Vega versus Armiko. We've seen Rups from his performance out in Intel World Open, but ZG we've seen like a handful of times as well. And what's crazy about that is both these players have to face off against Somniac. Depending on who wins, right, has to face off against Somniac afterwards.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
That's a rough one, but, can't think about that yet. You got to think about this next match coming up, Vega versus Mika. A couple of Season 1 characters coming up here. One where, again, Vega, you didn't see a lot of his play in Season 1, I felt like. He was definitely considered a character who wasn't particularly strong. I mean, obviously, like, Nemo did really well at EVO in the first season with Vega as well. But again, after that, for the few years, I felt like Vega was kind of underrepresented, but he's gotten a lot stronger now. So see how this goes against Rups Mika.
Definitely eager to see it. Let's take a look at what they have to say to each other into this top 16 between ZG and Rups. Starting with Rups, ZG is a very strong player, and he's the main reason I've gotten heavily involved in my local FGC. You'll love to hear it. He's also a complete nut, so it'll be hard to call how this match will go.
Can you imagine the Mika player calling someone a complete nut?
Yeah, and I love that, by the way.
Well, let's see what kind of retort ZG has in store for Rups here. Best not to overthink things and just unga your way through one match at a time, admitting to the nuts play here. Unga seems to be a very popular word amongst the Australians here.
I love it. I will be one with them eventually. I need to visit this community in person once travel restrictions open up. We'll talk about that in another time. ZG versus Rups, Vega versus Armika. I feel like I've watched them play before and my old man is showing. It could just be because it's getting late, but I'll tell you what, it's never too late to watch these two play.
What am I showing?
Nothing. I didn't
You
say
said your old man is showing.
no,
What am
Vega
I showing?
versus Armika. I see what you did there. I see what you did there, Dad. Nice work. Vega versus Armika. Now we're thinking about the neutral, right? Let's talk about the matchup a little bit. Thinking about nothing at all. Colleen versus Armika. I swear I've seen them play not too long. Are you okay?
I think so. I think I'll be okay.
Here,
I think I'll be okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank
there you go. Jeez. Colleen is a choice for ZG, and I'm, again, man, this is going to be a whole different story, right? I feel like Colleen does a pretty decent job in the neutral, having those very extended limbs, right? Standing heavy punch, crouching medium kick also being one of the main tools. Already chipping down against Rups in this match.
Yeah, I mean, the advantage, Colleen's buttons on the ground are so good, and Mika's, that's always been one of her struggle areas. She doesn't have the long-range buttons that Colleen does. I mean, it's interesting because Vega obviously has great ground buttons as well. So interesting that, you know, he did decide to go with this. I'm not sure what the distinct advantage he's over. Maybe the escape V reversal to get out of corners like that?
I was actually very surprised he went for the counter hit conversion, or like try to get any sort of conversion from the counter. He could Irish whip into the corner.
Here we go. Throw into the corner now. Pressure. Oh no, wasn't close enough for the upward motion of that exhale to hit. But fortunately did not get badly punished for that. All right, here we go. Nadeshko comes in, gets him with the low. Not going to be enough to kill. Just one mix-up and actually maybe trying to catch a backdash or a jump away. Oh, boy. This is going to be enough to kill, isn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt. Especially with a continuation of V-trigger. Being able to swing twice afterwards. Netting ZG all the damage he needed at the very last strike against Rups, getting him round number one. Rups, that was raw.
That he was doing probably a whiff option select, and he got hit, and then the special move still came out afterwards.
How interesting. Very awkward exchange, but hey, better for ZG. A punish incoming, absolutely.
Ooh, but maybe that's why he wants the counters against Mika, but again, the counters are hard against the command throw character.
And Rups surprisingly hasn't spent that bar to force ZG into the corner earlier, but he's got a lot more to work with now. ZG does get the raw, or excuse me, does get the activation.
Here we go, back to the corner. Look at this. Side switching like 5 times in 1 second.
And not a single bar was spent from the side of Rups. Great discipline, I would say, because he's definitely had a bunch of conversions. Double dash forward, the madman.
Maybe he was thinking ZG was going to backdash at the start of the round, wanted to chase that down. But now, as a result, he is stuck in the corner. Hasn't been able to find his way out of there. Just gets the raw jump. And now the pressure situation, not fast enough.
Oh, the Lady Mika still finds its mark. Reset City. Here comes ZG. Trying to find some rent, or excuse me, trying to evict himself out of the corner and away from said City.
And you know, we were talking about the great buttons of Colleen, but the way that Rups has been playing right now, you were expecting the Mika, the Nadeshko. You thought Nadeshko was coming. It was set him up for the throw, gets the full combo, dead.
She is inevitable, no matter what. Nadeshko is coming out. You saw it coming in with the body splash, and then afterwards with the tag team, she moved across the screen to help her out.
Nadeshko was Thanos? She is inevitable?
Yeah, she is a dasher, that's for sure. She is definitely going from screen to screen. I'll tell you what, though. There was a lot of risks taken from both sides of the field, both sides of play, right? Rups has been trying to make a lot of hard reads based off of like movement. He's trying to double dash into ZG's face, but I will say the presence of mind to use normals instead of trying to steal any sort of positioning with forward movement or even like standing medium punch. He was using crouching medium kick to deter ZG from moving forward. And it's worked out a lot. And you saw the example right there in the corner. He's using that normal to intimidate a little bit more outside of just using like a drop kick or threat of being within range of command grab. Something typical of Mika, right?
I'm wondering if they're changing, if we're potentially seeing that thing again. You know, go to your main character, go out swinging with that character. But again, I'd just like to point out that Rups was the one who called ZG a nut. And we saw Rups kind of, you know, going in and with that offense there. So Mika player calling someone nuts is a...
That's a big statement.
It's a big
bold
statement.
Strategy.
It's a bold
Let's see
statement.
If it pays off for him.
All right, here we go. Mika, yep. ZG goes back to the claw, Vega.
Yeah.
See how this match changes here. Ooh, the ace actually catching the drop kick out of the air.
Just backdashing out of pressure, especially after that first light coming out from Rups. But ZG now still stuck within this close range. Good reaction to stuff out the drop kick, and they're doing it a lot more normals, or at least back-to-back mediums, I should say, from ZG. And he just wants to establish his pace, right? He wants to play this mid-game a lot more often than not, okay? Yeah. He's not looking for huge damage. He's looking to hit you with 1,000 cuts.
It does feel like he's a little more comfortable in the neutral with this character, but again, one of the scary things about Mika is how much she can not care about neutral once she gets in. Oh, and speaking of, here it is. She's in. Oh, trade. Very fortunate.
Full critical art on deck for ZG. Any sort of conversion into EX wall dive? Oh boy!
No, he drops the peach afterwards.
Yeah, Zuna drop. That's exactly what I was looking for. ZG finding the right call. Crouching heavy punch into EX Zuna. Just enough for the W, or at least for the round. Here in game 2.
Goes those defensive aces again. Yeah, designed basically to catch Rups dashing in. Oh, and you know what? See, he established it enough that it opened up the dash
was
up
godlike.
and then the walk-up shimmy. It's all back and forth. This
guy's a nut.
This whole sequence right there was so beautifully calculated. The aces to control the spaces, right? I mean, he was just getting Rups scared to dash in. So as soon as he did that, he dashed in and through. As soon as he dashed in and through, he got Rups thinking he went for the shimmy.
He walked up and whiffed, or not whiffed, threw out the heavy punch right in front of him at the right time, getting the counter hit, and then entire sequence leading to that KO. That was adaptation, or excuse me, conditioning.
Yes.
101, not adaptation. That is conditioning 101.
It was such a beautiful sequence right there by ZG, and you know, one makes you wonder why the character switched in the first place. Because like I said, the advantages that Colleen has, I feel like Vega kind of has in neutral as well.
Sure.
And then you're using a character you're more familiar with.
And I kind of mentioned it earlier, right? He's not the kind of character, or Vega's not the kind of character that net big old damage from combos. He's going to kill you by a death by 1,000 cuts, as been previously mentioned before.
Oh no! He went for another one, but a nice jump by Rups. No quick rise from ZG there, trying to throw off the meaty timing of Rups a little. Gets out of the corner with the wall jump. That's huge.
Very tricky stuff. High mobility character with Vega, right? But again, back to this play of
nice combo. I like that.
Kind of playing at this space to get some of the normals going, to take down Rups little by little. And the V-Skill 2 as a reversal.
Oh, he tried.
Oh boy, activation route.
Out of there. But Nadeshko still, actually, never mind.
And she runs across the rooftop to make sure she finishes the bulldog.
Yeah, just like around the camera. You can't see her. She's like, she puts in a lot of work, man. Oh, the priority system.
That was sick.
Taking out the standing medium punch.
I feel like that was like,
Actually, no, it wasn't
a
priority
heavy
system.
punch.
If it was priority system, you're right. It would have been a crush counter.
I think it was a forward medium punch startup.
Yeah.
Forward heavy punch.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh boy, no. Lane's taking off this time.
Oh no. Back in the corner you go with no health.
Don't get dashed up command grab. Oh, swinging away forward.
That should probably be it. Yeah. And there you go. ZG with a great game number 2. One wonders now what would have happened had he started with Vega the whole entire time, but maybe game 3 shows you the reason why he didn't.
True. Yeah, you're starting to see a little bit more familiarity, or at least not familiarity. You're going to see a lot more comfort in that play against that matchup coming in from Rups, right? If you take a look at how it all transpired and the kind of developments that Rups made in terms of countering ZG's gameplay, you could tell very much so that in game 3 he was like, all right, well, I'm totally ready with what he has in mind for me. Let's see if he has enough defense to handle what I give to him this time.
Okay, so that actually establishes the first round of the loser side of the bracket. Look at this, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-1. So Space Ghost, BK Sama, a Wild Llama, and, well, that rhymed actually, and Rups move forward into the round 2 of the losers bracket. And now this round here will determine the last 4 players into the top 8, and we will be starting with Total Sagat, as we saw with that Sagat play, going up against Space Ghost. Of course, Total Sagat did start on the winner's side, ended up losing to Panda, but now he is here trying to fight for his life against Space Ghost. Total Sagat, you know, saying that he's been throwing Tigers since 1992. So
I love that fact about him, by the way.
let's
He's
go.
still pressing buttons.
Go, old man, dude. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm right there with you in a few years. I'll tell you what, though. Sagat
Can never catch up, man. That's how age works, man.
Man, that's too deep. Total Sagat going up against Space Ghost. Tell me a little bit about that, right? Sagat versus Guile, right off the bat, when it comes to, like, just very... very blatant, right? You're going to see a lot of fireballs being chucked out. We're going to see a lot of fight for control in terms of like the fireball war and the spacing, right? You talked about the importance and effectiveness of Sonic Boom from certain ranges, especially against someone who also has a good amount of fireballs and great ones, I should say. Tell me a little bit about that kind of effectiveness of the Sonic Booms from certain ranges from Guile.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how he wants to play it, right? Because you can either throw the light Sonic Boom to give yourself time to react to how they're trying to get around it, or as a method of approach. The heavy Sonic Boom is going to definitely be used for a lot more, you know, instant pressure, trying to convince the opponent to jump at you or try to do something else. The problem is with Sagat, you know, the Tiger Shot, his Tiger Shot is very fast, especially if he goes with the high Tiger Shot, right? The high Tiger Shot has much better recovery than the low Tiger Shot. True. And so he can actually keep up the fireball war if that is something that Space Ghost wants to play.
And you see him countering immediately to nullify the Sonic Boom with the high Tiger Shot, immediately checks with the low afterwards to kind of see what Space Ghost is going to do on reaction.
Ooh, I like the crouching heavy punch to beat the back fist. And here we go, uses the opportunity to charge up.
Yeah.
Gets the angry skull.
Oh, that would have been huge because it would have set himself up for another V-skill and at least from further out to get the fireball game established.
Yeah, and good damage off of that DP as well. He still has it charged up. You can still see the skill 1 down there flashing at the bottom right of your screen.
Ooh.
Oh, look at this patience.
No evade at all from Space Ghost. Really countering the threat of the trigger and the throw bait at that. But let's see if Total Sagat goes for the crush.
Yeah, he does.
He sure does.
I think that's a good play from Space Ghost. It was going to be the single hit. Oh, but he jumps over the Sonic Boom. But a wake-up EX flash kick is going to get him out of that situation. Oh, that was a low one. Yeah, if he had thrown a low one. And here we go. Now, Total Sagat willing to throw this game, to throw the fireballs from a screen away, but I like the choice of the V-Skill 2 from Space Ghost. I feel like that's causing a lot of the problems because that allows Guile to hop over low Tigers, advance forward with a fireball. So the choice of the V-Skill 2, I think, is making a big difference here.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot harder for Total Sagat to even react to, right? Again, he does have access to an uppercut that'll be invulnerable to those projectiles, but it's a matter of reacting to them, right? At least the V-Skill 2 one.
Yeah, last time Space Ghost dashed up, went for the upside down kick. This time he dashes up and goes for the throw.
See, not only has he been throwing Tiger Shots since that long, since 92, but he's also been reacting to fireballs, knowing full well how to jump over.
This was a popular match back in the day, hyper fighting kind of times. Oh, this is going to be big damage into super.
Big dead. 100%. It'd be like that. He was a trigger.
Okay.
All he had to do was just
second last hit, man.
Bazooka knee? No, he was dead. He was dead even dead. Without a doubt. I'm saying that with full confidence. You know how many times I've seen Daigo do that? A million and a half times.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. But Space Ghost making it his own, ensuring the victory, spending all the cash as he should. Enough for Total Sagat to go back into the lobby and reconsider. Now I'm thinking to myself,
trigger 1,
it
maybe?
might be, it might be a change up into trigger 1 to catch Space Ghost off guard in a multitude of ways, right? Having extra durability on the fireball as a threat into that fireball game is one thing. Also, keeping yourself safe after an unsafe move is going to be available now with trigger 1 if that is the case or if that's the option from Total Sagat.
It just makes you so that once he activates it, you have to think about it a little bit. Think about throwing the Sonic Boom, because if you're wrong and he hits you with that V-Trigger 1, he can get a lot of damage off of it if he's close enough.
Or even like a knockback, right?
Right.
For something that's great for Total Sagat, right? He gets to charge of V-Skill. He gets to throw up more Tiger shots if he wanted to. He's not going to steal your move, I should say. But he's going to be throwing out a lot of Tiger shots and have access to at least one more. And is that the choice?
Yep, V-Trigger 1. There it is, V-Trigger 1 for Total Sagat.
And it's V-Skill 2. Now he's going to be powering up the Tiger
Ooh,
knees.
he switched to V-Skill. Wow, he just did a full 180 on his character.
And we'll see if the Tiger knees even come into play. To be quite honest with you, I think the V-Skill 1 was fine.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he just wants it. If he wants to go in for the offense, then he can try to use the knees to get in.
That's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But that's whether or not he gets a charge. He might get one. No, not yet.
Yeah, I'm not going to try just yet.
Oh,
crush.
Oh, it's
DB.
nasty.
Yeah, it goes for the meaty fireball there.
My man gave him the giant tree trunk. Oh, boy. Yeah, still got the counter hit. That's going to be a full-on conversion.
Oh no.
Little fake
I feel
out.
like he missed one of the fireballs or something. I'm not sure.
Possibly. He could have gone full force into crit lock, but the jump in is still there. It's still nice.
He knew, Space Ghost was like, knew everything we were talking about. He was like, yeah, he wants to do this to threaten, so I'm just going to jump. And if he throws it out, then I get my jump in combo, and he was absolutely right. Nicely done.
I like that. Good punish on a step forward kick from the forward roundhouse. Some people sometimes are just a little bit off the mark and can't react in time. But man, Space Ghost fighting all the right buttons today. Oh, yeah!
Big damage. Yeah, he wasn't
stuck.
sure he was close enough for the crouching strong, so just goes for the sweep instead. And yeah, V reversal now just to get out of there, which means probably no trigger. Actually, no, nothing. You are done. Let's do fancy step. Dude, that is classic Street Fighter 2. Let me tell you how often people would do that in Street Fighter 2 days. When they stunned you and they were going to kill you, it was jump fierce, stand fierce, flash kick every time. That was the whole goal, to do standing flash kick combos.
He wasn't done yet. There was going to be a critical art behind that.
Yeah,
if Sagat survived, best believe he was going
Yeah.
to bust that out, and I would have been like, oh. It would have been nasty.
Yeah.
But again, big shout outs to Total Sagat making it as far as he did. Unfortunately, his run stops here, but it's not unfortunate for Space Ghost, who made it 2-0, establishing the first spot in losers into the top 8.
Yep, and that means that he will be going up against either Rumors or BK Summit. What a losers match that we have coming up. And that is going to be an amazing, amazing match.
It's going to be very hard to call, to be quite honest with you, because BK Sama has looked unbelievable throughout the entirety of his matches. He's looking indestructible, to be quite honest with you.
I see what you did there. Shout outs to the song here of the official Capcom Pro Tour 2021 theme song by PKCZ. For more details, check out the link below, but you can go check it out. Obviously, bringing back the indestructible tune.
Man, as soon as I hear like the first few notes, I'm already losing it. I'm like, oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of Street Fighter V action that's been going on throughout the entirety of this month. In fact, it's still going to continue with compete.playstation.com with the Summer Win-a-thon event going on all month for the North American fans. Again, head on over to compete.playstation.com for all the information necessary to join in with the community and participate in all of these tournaments going on, especially for Street Fighter V.
Yep, and again, BK Sama versus Rumors. BK Sama, who was doing all the damage in the IWO, and then Rumors, who qualified last year in the Australian qualifiers. And so these are two players that I can't believe one of them isn't going to make the top 8.
When you put it that way, it just adds so much pressure. In fact, we really got to take a break on this one, actually. Take some time off, think about it, and get back to us as we will continue after this break with more of the Australian community here in the Capcom Pro Tour.
Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up turn to feast. Alright, time to fly.
speaking, back after the ultimate improvement. Father! Psycho! What's up, what's up? See ya! Psycho! The legend has now begun. Burn this in your memory! Psycho! Whoosha! To honor father, Big Bro will do his best.
All riders have to strike out on their own.
Let's do this!
Coming up next here in the Australian qualifiers, we have one for the books. This is going to be really tough to call, to be quite honest with you, as we return for our losers run. Vicious with James Shen, and this is how it's going to break down. We are currently in the losers bracket with 3 matches remaining. However, it has been a very, very tough one to see. Rumors versus BK Sama down below to face off against each other, facing elimination.
Yeah, as I said before we went to break, one of these players is not making top 8. BK
Imagine
Sama
that.
and Rumors have to take each other out. One of them is going out. And that is a brutal one right there because both of these players could have been favorites to take this entire event.
Yeah.
And now one of them is going to finish basically in 9th place, and we're going to find out who it's going to be. So it is going to be Cody going up against that Urian. And, oh, that's right. He lost to Zeku in the winner's bracket. He lost to Shen Khan.
Yeah, he got evicted out of his own brain. Right?
That's right.
Shen Khan became the landlord against Rumors. And again, Rumors already set it off the bat. He's like, man, this guy has been dominating me for the last 4 years, right? But now it's going to be a little difficult to call, right? It's going to be completely unpredictable between Rumors and BK Sama. What is guaranteed is that these guys are the top cut when it comes to Australian FGC, and it's quite the shame that they'll be facing off each other in the loser's side. That's just how the cookie crumbles.
Yep. Unfortunately, once you get to top 16, this is the kind of thing that happens, right? If you don't want this to happen, stay in the winner's side of the bracket. That's the way it works.
Yep.
But here we go. It is going to be Cody versus Urian. Oh, and starting off with a bad chariot tackle.
Yeah, a little bit overzealous on that one. But thankfully enough, Rumors didn't have like a giant punish for it. A punish nonetheless, but still a nice and easy one off of lights into the ruffian kick. Not going to be enough to deter BK Sama, but that will. Nice anti-air choice. And I couldn't even tell. Was that a buffer from that far? I think it was. Yeah, the standing light kick into the ruffian, it had to be.
Yeah, and now here we go. Gets in there. Plus frames on the EX Zonk Knuckle. Again, plus frames. Last time went for the throw. This time went for the buttons. Not sure what he tried to do to that fireball right there, but he has a pretty decent lead now. He really doesn't have to push the action. Oh, what an empty jump.
Can you? Oh, my God. I was going to say, can you hit me with an overhead? Oh, no, he's trying to get that schmicks. I feel like that was an intentional drop.
Oh, he can still kill him with the super coming all the way back. BK Sama stealing that round from Rumors.
Oh my God. That was sick.
Oh, it was unfortunate. And Rumors even tried to V-reversal and jump away to get out of the second mirror mix-up. But BK Sama had that red, caught him, was able to combo.
He was trying to have Rumors fire on all pistons when it comes to the brain power that needed to be flexed on defense, right? BK Sama had so many reset opportunities, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Rumors now on the offensive, applying the pressure, the stagger, I should say.
Yeah, but didn't get the stun. He's going to get the quick hit right there. Goes for the throw again. Aegis won him the round last time. See if he can do it again. Oh,
yo!
Oh, but that didn't combo. Oh, God, what is happening?
This is so sick.
And then the mirror just disappeared, so we got the EX Fireball. Okay, whip punish, V shift.
Checking with the load as well. What?
He
BK Sama won.
He
actually won the trade-off.
Oh, my God. That EX knees did so much damage. BK Sama just stole both rounds. I feel like he just kind of took them from Rumors.
BK, best knees.
Look, I mean,
best knees for sure.
Rumors already lost his home.
No,
you know, because he got evicted, and now BK Sama is stealing everything else that he has. He's not even.
He's the debt collector. You made some bad financial decisions, my friend. I'm here to collect.
He's not going to have possessions anymore.
This guy, he's repoing his entire wardrobe, his family, everything.
Oh,
all of his possessions.
No.
The stun is coming in hot.
There it is. The crouching light kick is going to do it. This should be a ton of damage depending on how much meter he wants to spend, but why spend it? You have such a... Okay, now it is Rumors' time maybe for the comeback, for the robbery. If he can get that V-trigger too activated.
Yeah, the trigger needs to come out.
Here we go. Oh, and he read the command. He knew the command throw was going to start the loop. And he was out of there with the V-shift. And again, that's what the power of the V-shift is. On the throw or attack mix-up, the V-shift can get you away from both of them.
And that wasn't even that big of a risk for BK Sama. Despite having that kind of life lead, he was willing to spend that V-gauge because he didn't need the mirror anymore.
Right, exactly. He had such a big life lead. Oh,
and just on the right spacing. Yeah, I feel like it's that sequence itself where it's like BK Sama knows exactly which options will follow up to force that block. And man,
if you get them to block your standing heavy punch fully charged at max range, that light chariot tackle is coming.
Oh boy.
Quick hit, light, yep. Last time he went for the throw, I like the V reversal, but this means No. Oh, God!
You gotta be
The
kidding
mirror.
me! The tornado still hit, and he chases down with the Quarrel Punch. BK Sama. 2 games straight of pure destruction. Was that 4 rounds? Because he did come back. He did come back in that first round.
I think that was 4 rounds.
Oh,
I think
dear.
most of them with these
Jeez.
crazy comebacks. And yeah, BK Sama is going to send rumors out of the tournament. Again,
Man.
the last year's winner of one of the Australia qualifiers. And that just means that he's going to go out in 9th place this time.
Ah, boy. You know what's really messed up? Is seeing all of this action before our very eyes. And for us Westerners to have to go to sleep after this, it's impossible. I'll tell you what, though. ROF versus a Wild Llama is coming in hot
Wild
next.
Llama coming back in with that gill with the crazy lariats. But, I mean, how well is that going to go up against ROF's Birdie? Of course, Birdie with a lot of good defensive buttons. One of the things that a lot of Gil players complain about the most about Gil is his neutral, right? Is that he doesn't have a lot of good buttons. And Birdie controlling a lot of that neutral, stand heavy punch, crouching medium kick, all sorts, crouching light punch. You know, a lot of great buttons
Setting
for
short,
Birdie.
everything. He also has plenty of tools to get around the fireball game if need be, or even close the gap with any of the V skills proper. When you're looking at Gil in terms of trying to control space, sure, the normals that are there would probably be stand medium kick, crouching medium kick, not as easily cancelable crouching medium kick, but still there nonetheless, right?
Right.
Fireballs, I feel like not as much of a presence, not as much of a threat, for the sole purpose of having Bullhorn in the arsenal of Birdie.
Right. So it's going to be interesting to see how this match is going to go. But again, Wild Llama, like I said, self-proclaimed leader of the Gil Army.
True.
Going to try to come here and continue the Gil Army representation over here, going up against ROF. Forgot to write that down there.
Requiem of Fear has been the Birdie player to watch for the Australian region. In fact, as a whole, for the Oceania, to be quite honest with you, he's been so consistent in so many of his runs in the CPT and has faced off against some of the best and brightest players, including Travis Styles, right? Again, they faced off in their first match.
That's right, yeah.
Into top 8.
The two friends there, we saw how much they were joking around with each other in their quotes. And unfortunately, one of them had to send the other to the loser's bracket. But ROF is the one that's down there and will be going up against Gil, against a Wild Llama, living up to that wild part of the name as well. You're so excited. I want to play Akira so bad. I just want to do. They put the links in her air combo.
Dude, that's what I'm saying,
put the
man.
links in that. You could do that in rival schools, and they let. I'm so excited. Okay.
Oh boy. As we mentioned, yeah, traversing past the fireball. You know a Wild Llama is willing to throw out the parry off a whim. He's, you know what I'm saying?
It is.
It's a double-edged sword, right? If it works out, it's great. If it gets busted up, you're in danger.
Oh, the armor. Here we go. Activation. Going with the V trigger and V skill too. That's something that you talked about that he is capable of using. We didn't see it in the first match, but here he has it. He's got the bubble gum, and he's also got the chain. Oh, empty jump. Here we go. Minus. Oh, actually, V reversal. Not sure about that V reversal right there.
Oh, God. You thought you could press a button after that? He's within range, baby.
Yeah, so a Wild Llama V reversal the chains. Now, that's minus on block, and he pulls you in. You have the advantage. That's actually an advantage situation for you. So I don't think that was the right V reversal.
Oh, boy. I still love that animation, by the way. Oh, just raw fierce. A lot of passion behind that one.
That throw is good because of the crunching sound effect.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's nasty. Oh, yeah. So, this is an interesting predicament, right? Wild Llama does get to reset into neutral with a decent life lead, but Birdie could definitely reclaim that in a single hit.
No. Neutral jump did not punish that.
Oh,
Here we go. Gets the activation on
and
the
a
sweep.
Even bigger whiff punish. Don't get grabbed. Oh, if he walked up all the way, -2.
Oh, no, but it is a low. It's a low, so if they catch you walking, yeah, you got to be careful right there. And that means that ROF taking that first game very convincingly.
And we prefaced it earlier, right? As if the neutral wasn't hard enough for Gil, activated into trigger 2 is birdie. You are not allowed to walk. Don't even try to press a normal outsider range. You're going to get whiff punished.
Right. You have to kind of do that walk crouch, those micro walks. You know, just to be very careful. And that's a very important skill for a lot of fighting game players, that micro walking. Oh, he thought he was going to be a big punish, but instead he just did light kick into command throw. I like that idea. And look at the range on that. Nice. Oh, you thought it was going to be a punish? No, I still have the crouching medium punch ready to go.
Oh, big whiff punish there from ROF. James just yelled because he was. Where did that come?
Dude, when I see whiff punishes like that, because I'm the world's worst whiff punisher, and so when I see other people
it's
get
so
those
sick,
whiff,
right?
I scream in just absolute like, oh, that is amazing. You are a god. You know?
Was pretty good. That got me by surprise.
All right.
Oh, no sequences, but it's fine. He does get a reset.
What? That was a weird sequence again, and watch out for your legs again. Okay, block.
It out there.
Too far. Okay, the little bit stare down right there where they both kind of froze and then hit the button at the same time. Wild Llama was the one coming out victorious in that situation, and there it is. Crazy hilarious.
Oh, that was actually perfectly timed and space from the Wild Llama. Now in full control. At least I say that until ROF finds his way out of the corner at the cost of a bar.
Yeah, but still down a lot of life.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
That gets the punish.
And there we go. No activation. Gonna block. That's minus. Oh, back to back. Okay. So no V gauge for Wild Llama.
And he would have had an activation there too if he had kept it, but still showing RF that he doesn't need it up until this point at least. Here we go. Now you're a lot closer.
You in, Can't neutral jump on the throw. Chases the V skill down.
Beautifully executed, well orchestrated there from ROF, in full control, making the right reads back-to-back times, by the way, against the Wild Llama.
And, you know, I had mentioned that the V-shift can be good against the attack-throw mix-up, but a lot of times—
You're going to pay the bubble gum? Who does that? Wild Llama does. That was sick.
We just had someone parry a bubble gum.
This is Street Fighter.
This is Street Fighter V, ladies and gentlemen.
You got some sticky elbows after that. Gross.
Yeah.
Popping a bubble with your own elbow, huh?
Right. Gets him low.
Yeah, the trigger is
Oh, but the empty jump. And tried to get him, but it actually clipped him, but then the fire still came down. You can see he's still on fire right now. Oh, the crush counter is going to hurt.
Don't get grabbed. Okay, I was going to say if he dashed up and micro walked forward to command grab.
Oh, but these lariats, he just won't stop. He's got a lot of meter now. Next hit, that's a confirm into perfect harmony. Yeah, one of the things that I was trying to say during the match, you know, the V shift I had mentioned was good for throw attack mix up. However, if the opponent is wary enough, even after they whiff a normal throw, they can punish the backdash if they recover in time. So it's not flawless, but definitely works against the attack command throw mix-ups really well.
Yeah, absolutely a good call too. And the presence of mind to be ready for anything that ROF throws at him. A Wild Llama, I think, did a very good job of standing his ground and not fearing the dolphin dive immediately afterwards and getting the full punish. And speaking of, getting a jump in already at the start, the sweep as well. He's on fire.
He's been using that sweep really, really well. Oh, kind of parries. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't care. He just wants to keep trying everything. Oh,
as guild players should.
Retribution.
Oh, and you saw that. That was textbook Gil. Actually, no. That was textbook Street Fighter V player right there, covering the option just in case they decide to jump out of your throw.
Yep.
And getting the full-on option select.
Anytime you go for a throw in this game, you should already be ready to anti-air. Because if you throw, you have plenty of time to go, oh, okay. But if they jump, then you want to anti-air for sure.
Oh, boy.
The bubble!
Sound like a cartoon there. The bubble! Oh, jeez. That is a classic banger, by the way. I like that. I like that. All right, again, controlling the move. Oh, man. The lariats have paid off so much for Wild Llama.
His lariat usage. We talked about how one of his weaknesses, Gil's weaknesses, is the neutral. He just covers it by lariating at you all day. He doesn't care. Oh, punish me. Go ahead. I'm going to lariat again because it's fast and you're not going to expect it.
Oh, my goodness. There was so much space. So much space between that to even get that throw bait. He walked up to him, still wasn't within range of the throw, and hit him with the medium kick. ROF was actually stunned mentally by that entire sequence, or a multitude of sequences coming in from a Wild Llama. He's staying on the battle bus for sure. But man, he eliminates ROF.
Yeah, and the glorious leader of the Gil army
continues
treks
his
forward.
reign, yeah.
He is in top 8 now. And he will be going up against the winner between Somniac and Rups coming up next, which is going to be an M. Bison versus Mika match. And that will close out the top 16 to find out who all of our top 8 players are. But again, shout outs to all the players, you know, Total Sagat, Rumors, and ROF who have all gone. You know what the crazy thing is? I just noticed that. That's all 3 of the players who came from winner's side. Have all gone 0-2 this top 16. The person who has won has been the person coming from the loser side of the bracket.
With the exception of like ROF getting at least 1 on the board, right? But that's it's still a very valid statement, right? A lot of the folks that were coming in from winner's side are getting eliminated one by one. Will it happen again though between Somniac and Rups?
I mean, if Rups is going to be happy if the storyline continues, because that means he will be sending Somniac out with an 0-2 performance in the top 16. But again, Somniac is just so strong of a player and did win the finals for the region last year for Capcom Cup.
You could say that for the rest of the cast too, right? Total Sagat showing full well what he's about when it comes to that Sagat play. Absolutely, an absolute terror, I should say. Then, of course, Rumors, who was just within line of Somniac, but to be fair, he was facing off against BK Sama as well. And then you had ROF, who was within that top 2 in his qualifier for the Intel World Open, facing off against Travis Styles in back-to-back tournaments.
Yeah.
Man, it's been quite the story so far here in the loser side, and we're continuing so with our final one of the day, Somniac versus Rups, Bison versus Mika.
And here we go. Plus frames for Bison, as usual.
You already know it's a Psycho Axe 2 times over already. Trying to establish whether or not Rups is going to be swinging in neutral or not.
And I don't know if people have a drinking game out there for me saying this, but man, giving Bison that 3-frame light kick, what were they thinking?
Drinking water for sure for me, I'll tell you what, because we're looking real thirsty if we're Rups. There we go. Looking for that command grab. He was sniffing it out. He was waiting and biding his time. But here comes Somniac now. Plus frames especially.
All right, but he is minus after that Psycho Ball there. It's just the range makes it so that it's really hard to take advantage of. That's why using that standing medium kick to slide forward.
That's exactly it, right? Somniac is swinging away, knowing full well that strategy is going to at least be in Rups' mind. And instead, Rups is looking for that actively, intentionally, getting the whiff punish. And now here comes Rups with the control.
Out of the air, goes for the mix-up, tries to go for a shimmy. Plus frames, so no, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting the V reversal to keep the pressure in the corner. Nope, not this time. He gets hit.
Oh, and just in time. He just had enough. He just built that V shift to get himself out of that pressure. Somniac was 100% going for that activation. Oh, man, that could have been it for Rups.
Yeah, I thought he would have gone into the super, but just wasn't ready for that cancel. Oh, free jump in. No anti-air. Activation.
The activation round. It is trigger 1, so...
Oh, chase him down. EX, is that enough? No. 9 seconds left on the clock.
No, check on the dash. Somniac is a madman.
Look at all the chip that he did. The gray health is down. The crouching medium kick anti-air. You had the reaction to do that in that situation?
He's a young man, but it says uncle in his name. This guy is playing like an old man. I like that. That was sick.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, the V-Skill 1, the parry buff.
Whew, that was so well done from Rups, keeping his composure. Already, it was just round 1, right? But now Somniac in full control, just about over half-life deficit on the side of Rups. Somniac willing to give up some of that estate to react and punish accordingly, but Rups just walking his way out.
Yeah, built a little meter there too to make sure he has an EX on deck as well. Backs off again. It's interesting how Somniac plays. Very, he's not being too aggressive, overly aggressive. And you know what? It's the strategy against Mika. You would rather fight Mika mid-screen than fight her in the corner. Because if you get hit and she claps you back into the corner or she gets the Rainbow Typhoon, you're in the corner and she can kill you. So what Somniac is doing is whenever he gets that corner position, he backs out. He's like, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, he really is the kind of player to lay it down mentally as well. You see Somniac in back-to-back onslaughts. You've seen the dominance from round 2, the life lead and the control, and then immediately back on the gas, pedal to the metal, full control again offensively, getting that perfect. To kind of add on to your point, Somniac is that kind of player to put on the mental stack.
Yeah.
He will play the life lead game to annoy the heck out of you as much as possible. He is playing every aspect of the game, and he does it well.
Right. And yeah, I mean, if he has the aggression, if he has the plus frames and the pressure, he's going to keep going for it. But you saw it every time Rups was able to block something in the corner, then he just backed away.
True.
And said, you know what, you're going to have to come after me because I ain't going to the corner. Nice whip punish.
I didn't realize now that Seth is released in the back. Seth sits in the throne of Bison before they used to be empty.
Oh,
that's
You're
wild.
right.
I did not even realize that.
I
That's
did
sick.
not realize that either. Okay.
Oh, boy. Well, I mean, the way that it's going, Bison might have to go back into his seat because Somniac already with a very intimidating life lead, forcing Rups to move forward a lot more often than not. And just look at the backdash and the patience of Somniac. He's spending all the resources to keep himself away from the grappler.
Ooh! And now no juggle possible off of that situation. Somniac now, however, getting walked into the corner, so he's trying to fight for that space. And you see the jump and a V-Skill 2 attempt from Rups. Has he been using V-Skill 2 this whole time?
He sure has.
Wow,
He sure
okay,
has.
I didn't notice. All right.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely going to be in those times where Somniac wants to keep himself plus, or at least in pursuit of after a Psycho X, right? But we haven't really seen any full use of it. That was sick.
Okay, now he has a corner, so here's the pressure. He's going to keep the pressure going if he can, but now, if the block, oh no, he's still going in there. See, this is the problem. This is why you back away sometimes, but nice use of the V shift to get himself out of that. Was supposed to be a V reversal.
Man, and Somniac still willing to block it out. Rups hasn't thrown enough command grabs to make Somniac scared of him, to be honest with you. Oh boy, big counter hit conversion.
This is the opportunity for Rups
There
now.
it is.
He needs to get the sequence now.
What a call.
Out of the corner, and you see again, I am not. Oh!
You love to see it go down that way, James.
That
you
is
love to see
another-
the whiff punishy against the V reversal.
All I have to say to that is, ah! I love those whiff punishes, man.
Gets me every time. It throws me off still. That is going to be our last spot into top 8 filled out by Somniac.
Yeah, and Somniac breaking the trend right there of coming from the winner side in top 16 and then going 0-2. He actually goes 1-1 today and gets himself into the top 8. Unfortunately for Rups, he goes 1-1 as well, but because he started in the loser side of the bracket, he is out in 9th place. So Rups, ROF, Rumors, Total Sagat out in 9th place, but again, great performance by them to get to the top 16 of the Australia region.
Let's take a look at that bracket one more time to refresh your memory, as well as James just mentioned, a little bit more of a graphic for you. If you guys can't listen in, but I'll tell you what, Space Ghost, BK Sama, A Wild Llama, and Somniac are the other 4 contenders here in the Australia region.
And they'll be going against each other on Sunday, which is tomorrow, of course.
It's already that way right now as we speak. Here, let me check my time. 2:22 in the morning here in the States. And again, we are rounding it up. We see, I think maybe on the winner side, I don't know, we didn't get to see it too much, but it was TB versus Travis Styles.
Yes.
Shen versus Panda. Very, very excited to see it. And of course, I'm sure the Australian region just as eager to see it go down.
Absolutely. But again, that's all going to be happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
For the top 8 Australia regions. Going to start at basically the same time.
Absolutely, we are. Yeah, again, there's just been so much Street Fighter V action to call today, but there's going to be even more throughout the month of August, especially with PlayStation throwing down a lot of events. Every single event can be found over at compete.playstation.com. For all the North American fans, right, be sure to head on over to the link below to learn more about the PlayStation Tournament's Summer Winathon event going on throughout the entirety of August.
Yep. And if you want to play some Street Fighter at home on your mobile device in China right now, the Capcom authorized mobile game Street Fighter Duel is now available for China, but a global version will be coming very, very soon. Follow Ryu, Chun-Li, and others to explore the mysterious organization and experience the classic stories with all your fighters and recall your memories of the original Street Fighter. All the impressive arrays of fighting game elements and innovative multiplayer combos will be there. Counters, stuns, combos, supers, everything is going to be there for a new battle experience, challenging your strategy and control. A variety of PvP gameplays and tournaments with in-game rewards will definitely inspire you to fight. The arcade legend is reborn on mobile. Download Street Fighter Duel now and join the journey with millions of players to find out who is the best fighter.
Absolutely excited for that. Again, you guys have just tuned in to the top 16 of the Australian region here for the Capcom Pro Tour in their qualifier. But we still have plenty more to talk about to set us up for tomorrow. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with a recap of today's top 16.
Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up turn defeat. So fly, time to fly. Glory waits for those who fight. We unite, we are Street Fighters.
Welcome to the centre of the world. Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
This country is incredible. I will become a lawyer. I have to.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder.
Who are you?
Herlock Sholmes. You must have heard of me.
We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san.
Let us engage in the art of deduction, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, what have we here? It would seem the truth is now tantalizingly close.
The defense demands its right to a cross-examination. Objection! Your testimony completely contradicts the facts.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
You're the best lawyer in the world.
The good old days when we'd be in the
All right, thanks everybody for hanging out with us for just a little bit longer here on the Capcom Pro Tour Australia Top 16. We just completed it, and we now know who the competitors will be for tomorrow.
If you happen to miss the entirety of Top 16, well, we have it in a too long, don't read format. With this bracket, let's take a look at how it all transpired and how we got into our top 8. As you see there, starting things off in the quarterfinals, we kind of want to talk about this just a little bit. We're starting to see that trend, as you mentioned before. A lot of these folks, a lot of the favorites actually going into the losers bracket, which is kind of unfair to say in the part of Travis Styles and ROF, because that could have gone either way, I feel like, still, between like how often they fought against each other. And then also with Panda and Total Sagat, right? But for the most part, you see a lot of consistency with Travis Styles, right? We're seeing it a lot more often than not against ROF, right? It's been back and forth up until like last month, I feel like. But again, the pre-show with Rob TV and Brian F prefaced Somniac as being one of the veterans in Street Fighter V, falling early to TB. Now, if you were to pick one of these matches, I guess, which one stood out to you the most in the winner's side?
Probably Shen Khan versus Rumors. Yes. Because I feel like Shen Khan he played so strong, and that Zeku, like Rumors said, lives rent-free in his head. And he really kind of showed it. And it's a tough situation because, you kind of want to address that, as a veteran in the fighting game scene. Like, when someone is your demon, that's a tough thing to shake. That really is a tough thing to shake. I have a lot of demons that I've ran into over the years. And, yeah, these people, like, once they become your demon, like, it gets in your head. And it is really tough to overcome. And so when Shen Khan, he showed it. He was able to take out Rumors pretty cleanly again. And unfortunately, that meant it sent Rumors to the loser side where he went down against BK Sama.
And that's so wild that you mentioned that, right? That kind of impact Shen Khan made against Rumors, right? Rumors fell down 4 rounds straight and did so again. He didn't get to win a single round, which is completely unexpected from somebody like Rumors. It's unfortunate that it went down that way, but again, Rumors is definitely one of those cats that is always going to be on the radar for the Australian scene as being one of the strongest. But as it turns out right now, it just wasn't enough today.
Yeah, so I would say that he got sniped out of the tournament, but I think he got snoped out of the tournament because the rumor was erased. So there you go. So
I see.
Unfortunately, Rumors is out of the tournament. And then we go to the loser side of the bracket over here. And you see that
a ton of 2-0s across the board. How many times did we see a close set between the fourth round of round 1, or the fourth game of round 1, and then the third game of round 2?
Yeah, but look what's really impressive about this. Remember, I mentioned that everybody who came from the winner's side of the bracket, except for Somniac at the bottom of your screen, was the one who ended up losing. That means Space Ghost went 2-0-2-0, and BK Sama went 2-0-2-0. Wild Llama 2-0-2-1. But again, whoever came from that whoever started on the loser side and won that first match, I felt like they just had a lot of momentum going through over there. And again, for me, BK Sama again versus Rumors was one of the standout matches here because of the crazy wild comebacks that he pulled off every single round.
Yeah, I will say at least for me, for Somniac, I think that would have been the matchup for me in the loser's side because of how dominant he was towards the end. Rubs was making the right adjustments for the most part, getting Somniac to be settled into the corner, chased them down, and actually responded well to everything that Somniac was throwing, and then Somniac just turned into a completely different person towards the end, right? And that was the match that stood out to me the most in losers.
Yeah, Somniac maybe a little bit stronger with the back against the wall, perhaps, because he's in loser side now. Again, he was one of the favorites, the veteran. He will have to take out a Wild Llama and then a few more matches in the losers bracket side. So let's take a look at the way the top 8 is laid out over here. Again, if you look on the bottom side, Somniac will have to beat a Wild Llama and then win 3 more matches to get into grand finals. So.
Yeah, but he has to go through other competitors, right? He's going to be potentially the loser between TB and Travis Styles, right? And then obviously Shen Khan and Panda still need to play it out. Well, technically, it would have to be Panda. The loser of Shen Khan and Panda is who Somniac will potentially face off against the way that the bracket works, right? And then, of course, there's still killers down below. BK Sama versus Space Ghost, the teammates are going against each other,
Oh,
James.
yeah, you're right. Both of them. I mean, we already had that situation with ROF and Rumors. I'm sorry, and Travis Styles, unfortunately. But going to happen again over there with BK Sama and Space Ghost. And, I mean, the way BK Sama was playing. Well, actually, like I said, both of them went 2-0-2-0 in their matches. So both of them coming in here with a good streak. But on the winner side, of course, TB, Travis Styles. So TB versus TS maybe. Shen and Panda. They are poised in a great position. Win one game, you're in winners finals, and you're guaranteed top 3 at least. But of course, in this situation, it is. I mean, top 1 is what you're gunning for.
Absolutely.
You absolutely want to get into that Capcom Pro Tour, the Capcom Cup 2021.
And again, we have a lot to look forward to, right? Australia, very strong scene, very impressive scene. We're seeing their growth exponentially over the years, and it's just as exciting as ever. Any final thoughts going into the top 8 tomorrow, James?
Again, just really happy to be able to see Australia do some representation over here and show their stuff. I love seeing, yeah, sure, for example, Somniac, it was a veteran, one of the favorites in here, but I like seeing a lot of these other players that we don't get to see that much shake things up over here. So I'm excited to see what Shen and Panda can do, as well as, Space Ghost and a Wild Llama. So I'm
very curious, yeah.
Yeah, very excited to see how they're going to perform tomorrow.
Honestly, I couldn't say it any better myself. Again, Australia has been the region that I've been paying closer attention to because, again, there's such an explosive scene and so fun to just talk to overall. So that's going to pretty much conclude our top 16. We'll see you in top 8. Well, again, I feel like it's going to be only a few hours from now because what is sleep, right? But again, our top 8 has been solidified for Australia. We do appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. It'll be the same time tomorrow. From all of us here at our side of the table to yours, we will see you. Take care and keep playing Street Fighter. Peace.